Hello, hello, the Silver Gauntlets. Welcome to more coverage of the Challenge Cup Season 6 Brackets Tournament. Today with a match at the pretty much at the bottom of the bracket. Not because they were they had their positions there. Just that's the luck of the draw. It is Sauce Boss versus TomPouce. I'm Tobias, and with me on commentary today is Kyrie Strombom and Star. Folks, how are you?
I am amazing. Looking
Doing
forward
well.
to another race.
Yeah, doing well myself. Looking forward to my first TSG comps in quite a while. Glad to see everyone. Nice to be back. Got
Glad to have you
ourselves
back.
a francophone matchup here. Got ourselves Saucepaws out of our French-Canadian community versus Tom Pouce, one of our French runners. Should be an interesting matchup here between the two.
Yeah, it looks like they both have around the same amount of races under their belt. Sauce Boss having 78, Tom Poos having 77. Uh, Tom does have 9 wins out of the 11 head-to-head matches. Um, and then yeah, so interesting
general-
to
Interesting.
see.
Yeah.
In general, we can see that while Sauce Boss has the faster finish time in standard settings, what we can also see is that Tom Poos definitely has finished first and second and third much more often in standard settings than Sauce.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty even matchup, though I would say Tom, according to the stats, has a slight edge. So we will see how it goes. I think our runners are ready, so Ginger, if you want, feel free to set them off, and we can switch over to the race layout.
Yep.
Excellent.
And
Neither
yeah.
of these runners are strangers to racing. We have seen them both. I believe Sauce was a Season 4 Challenge Cup alum. I'm not sure, can't remember around Season 5. I know we've seen Tom around the main tournament. Challenge Cup, perhaps. I know we've seen him in RSL as well. Both longtime members of the community. Should be really interesting to see how these two do.
Yep. And looks
And
like we're not gonna have funny logic for force access this seed with starting with Saria's song.
we're starting in the guard hut. That's a spawn. I should
I
probably
Why
mean,
also
not, I
turn on
guess.
the music. Sorry, the audio for one of our runners, shouldn't I?
I was going to say, I don't think we have audio right now. Looks
Gotta
like we
fix
have
that.
Saria songs. Yep, so Saria song start with the Spirit Medallion is always nice.
yep.
So Restream
Yeah.
should hear the audio now, and let's see if we can hear it in Discord soon as well.
Both runners farming some money, probably going to head on over to Ranch next.
Yep.
And we've got audio, excellent.
Yep, and Sauce Boss being the first one to head there. TomPouce not far behind whatsoever.
Yeah, you'd need to fix a little crafting bias in.
Yeah, I'm
Sauce's
seeing it. I'm
overlapping
seeing
Tom a
it.
smidge.
I accidentally did a thing. This is the first time with me streaming on our new layout, and it looks it. Turns out.
Indeed. No, big shout outs to Ato for creating our new stream layouts recently.
Yep,
Certainly.
they are beautiful.
Please do as well. Shoutouts to ourselves here. Shoutouts here to our two runners, Sauceboss and Tom Pouce, my co-coms, Tobias and Kyrie, and to our trackers, Ginger, Sunny, Shy, and Benji. Tobias is also restreaming, and Ginger is our monitor tonight. This afternoon, whatever time zone applies to you.
This is an all-star crew if I've ever seen one.
We're missing Dust Art. Do I
Oh,
see you in the chat?
Yo! Star, please. Why?
Are you are you trying to summon him?
He's already in chat.
Oh gosh.
And yeah, let's see what songs on Malin here. Giving us
Zealous Lullaby.
Ooh, that is
Okay.
nice. That
Good
is
start.
nice to have early on. We don't know our dungeons yet, but likely we will require ZL at some point.
But you definitely need CL. You can't. I don't think there's a seed you can finish without CL. Star, correct me if I'm wrong.
Really?
No, it's possible if Shadow's a stone and then your other medallions don't require zeal is possible.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, if water is very, very shallow.
Or,
You
you
can
know,
find-
especially if water and spirit are also stones, or if Jabu's available without, there's a few different ways.
Yep.
It is a 2 in 10 chance that water is beatable without ZL.
Yep. And
Right.
it looks like Tom is a VC player.
You are correct. Tom plays on VC, Sauceboss is on Bishog.
Okay, cool. I always like kind of comparing what platforms each runner plays on. Ooh, Tom falling off the bridge there, trying to get 20 more rupees, it looked like.
Oops.
Happens to the best of us. Okay, that
Yep.
was Splash, but when do we come?
Sploosh!
Oh! Give the brain cell back, Star!
I was
And-
resuming a Wind Waker match but Wind Waker Vanilla match on CSI yesterday, so I do have it slightly.
Nice. And Tom is lined up to go to Kakiri Forest.
Yep. And same before Sauce, so slightly
Yep.
different routes, but Tom will get there a little bit earlier.
Well, it's a standard child opening, to be honest. It's 3-song route.
Yep.
There's a reason why it's a standard.
Yes, it is. Get a lot of early checks, get 3 early songs, nothing too new. Just your regular old start.
Yep. Hopefully there's a big chest in Midos for our runners today.
Yeah, they do need some items eventually to finish the seed, just depends on when and where, because this is
Yep.
Rando, and Rando will do Rando things.
Ooh, there's two big
Two
chests
big
in
chests,
Midos.
and we get a mirror
A
shield straight
mirror
away.
shield. Alright.
Some red rupee,
And
And
a
a
silver
silver
scale,
scale.
which
That's
gives
nice.
you access to the river. And to Zora's
River-
Escape straight away.
And domain.
Well, it'd be nice they'll be able to dive through to Lost Woods after Kokiri dive through the river after Kokiri Lost Woods and go check out all that area. There'll be some difficult
Yep.
checks to route in early, but can sure bite you in the rear if you don't.
Looks like Tom is opting not to go for the back chest at the time being.
Nope,
Turns
perhaps
out
hoping for
Bigger
some
on is dead.
song or a warp song out of Saria.
Yep.
Off of Saria, yes. Yep, Bigoron is dead. Always nice to get early.
Songs
I
are
have
hard.
no idea what Tom was trying to play the Skull Kid there for a second.
You're gonna call it muscle memory.
Yep.
There's a heart container on Skull Kid. Always nice to get early. Kind of not a huge fan of either of their tunic colors here today. Or their cosmetics.
They're very similar.
And
They're
Frox 2
very
is dead
similar
as
and
well.
very boring.
It looks like Tom just has a slightly darker shade.
Yep. I think, yeah, because Salsa's got a very dark gray. I think Tom is slightly more of a bluish black, but it's very. And
Yeah.
then the button colors are also pretty washed out. I don't think either of them really win the color war today.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, can't all be winners.
Very
Yep.
nice. Very nice little jump to get onto the memory game platform.
Here's Big Ron hint for sauce.
Is that the first hint we've seen?
No,
Yes, it-
yes, it
yeah.
was.
Second one was Frogs 2 off the Lost Woods Bridge.
And there was a slight routing difference here. I think Tom completely forwent Kokiri's sword, didn't he?
He did.
Yep.
And there's a lens off the Ocarina memory game, okay.
Okay.
Oh, we are just magic from seeing our treasure chest game. And
Yeah,
now,
Lost Woods Bridge Scrub giving us negative, I believe that's 87.5% return. Thanks.
those scrubs, they like to just take your rupees and run away with them.
Yep. Actually, that particular might be negative 50% return. I forget how much that particular scrub charges you.
I think it's 40.
That's what I was thinking.
Scrubs
I
are
was
40.
like,
The only one that doesn't is the one in well, most
Outside.
scrubs are 40 without scrubs sanity. The only one that doesn't is the one in Inside Fence Grotto.
Yeah.
okay, I was like, I remember one of them is an exception, but I can't remember which.
that one's
Ginger,
10.
please.
And Prelude. Okay, I mean
Oh, nice to have. Not the
That-
best, but alright.
that'll
Yes,
be.
OT is Requiem. Uh-oh.
Oh,
Oh.
that can be Schrodinger's or Dungeons. We'll see.
We haven't seen our medallion layout yet, so we don't know yet, but that's always concerning.
Don't know medallion layout and do not know if Spirit is child keylock. Is that
What we
40
do know
dead?
is that 40,
40
is dead.
Yep.
And Skull Kid's
Skull
dead, the
Kid's
heart
dead.
container. Gee, thanks! They started with Saria-san, and already did that. Great. Helpful. Really needed to know that piece of information. Especially given that they have both, in fact, already picked up that heart container.
And it looks like Tom is gonna go and pick up that Kiri sword chest now. Probably do that, then play Prelude, I'd assume, and go adult.
Yeah, perhaps. There's also an argument to be made for going River Domain, especially as they don't really have much of anything for adult.
Well, yeah, you can go to CAC, you can get the song there, and you can get another song in the graveyard.
Yep.
Yeah,
Which
you can
hopefully
still
sets
do
you
your
on a song
standard
chain.
adult 1 routing, it just doesn't do much else besides that. Like, it might be nice to pick up bombs or a bow or a hexet or something before going adult, potentially. It's kind of a choice here, whether or not you stay child versus go early adult.
I mean, if you're asking
Very
chat, someone
true.
will also want to see River, not River, but Valley Lake, but
And
the
it
time for that
does-
will have passed.
Yep.
I say,
Yeah, it
and then
looks
Tom
like-
is headed into the field?
Yep, probably go. Oh, wait. Where?
South Hyrule, I guess? Maybe go into Valley Lake and then Domain from there?
Yeah, Open Grotto, then Valley Lake.
Seems to be Tom's plan.
Yep.
But only
Also not a
Lake.
bad idea to route in checks.
Meanwhile, Sauce Boss is heading back into Lost Woods, possibly.
Routing in Pierre, or rather the Scarecrow setup when you can, and when you can do it early, is not a bad idea.
Yep, no.
And Self deciding, no, I'm safe quitting. I think this is probably going to be do market and head adult for him, assuming he doesn't find anything to keep him child.
That's some. Yeah.
I haven't really found much of value here in the child one. They've got is
30
that
is ice
50?
arrows.
Okay, I was like, is that 30 or a 50?
Big
Okay, Big Goron is dead.
again. Epona's on Ravaged Village. Big Poe's dead, and Darunia has
Is Furor's Wind.
Furors.
Yep.
I don't think we're getting that. And we're
I'm
heading
not yet, but
adult.
I mean, both runners have the songs they need for that. Probably
They do.
will grab it as soon as they find bombs, because that is
Yeah.
incredibly useful.
Yep, it is. Quick check to do, and then especially when you have the song. So if you're going Child City anyway, might as well pick it up.
Yep.
And we are seeing Valley Lake. To all you Valley Lake lovers, here you go.
Water, forest, spirit,
Spirit,
well,
Fire,
fire,
DC,
DC.
and yeah, okay.
Okay, so our medallions are, we have a spirit medallion, or rather, we have a spirit as a medallion dungeon. Vanilla forest, we have water, we have DC.
Thank you, Jumbo and Shadow as our stands for Requiem. That's kind of blah as they get a heart piece in the waterfall.
Yep.
And our hint here is that Lake Hylia
Lake
is back
Hylia,
King
the
Dodongo.
Dongo.
Valley Lake was
Wow.
previously the
Really?
play.
Okay. We do have scales, so we can get the Rudo's letter check. We can do child fishing. I think that's all we can do here for now.
Yeah, and then we can head into the domain downriver, which is 4 more hint stones, so I'm sure you will want to do that.
4 more hint
Yep.
stones and another several checks, so that's not a bad idea. What's the
that
damage so
also-
far?
Kokiri
Bit of a
to
slow
Twin
start.
Course, Monrova.
Who
Well,
the thunk? I think that Mirror Shield in my dose is it.
yeah.
That could indeed be the path here.
Just maybe. You
And we are seeing some divergence. Sauce is now headed adult, is doing, as we alluded to earlier, basically the standard adult opener.
Skull Kid is still a heart container, thank you. And there's
That
a
is an interesting Scarecrow song.
I was just about to say, what is that, Tom?
Music. It is music.
It is
Yes, Sadie,
indeed.
Valley Lake is good.
I've never seen a song quite like that for the Scarecrow. Ooh, some chews.
Always nice to get here in the windmill. Been a minute since I last saw Tom play, but I think it's just kind of his thing to do some more unusual Scarecrow songs.
Let's see how many chews we get. Because that is obviously an early advantage for Sauce when he can just go do DC now.
Yep.
And there's Serenade.
Songs
Oh,
are hard.
That'll make routing in Lake a little bit easier.
It will, though he is also missing the lake path as that was in Valley.
Yep.
He might find it somewhere else though, but we don't know. Rando will Rando for that first. And
There's
we're giving us our
magic.
first magic.
Tom having a bit of
You know,
trouble.
speaking of that
And
lens
there's a
game
hook
earlier.
shot!
Oh! Okay.
Okay.
This seed is generous.
Yeah, pretty decent start so far.
As an adult, yes.
Actually-
As child, it was pretty dry.
Cax being generous. Hook shot, magic, and shoes. I will take all 3 of those any day of the week.
Serenade's also nice, though. You do
And
want
it
to
was
start
a
seeing
20
more
pack.
songs
It
soon.
was a 20 pack too. That is insane. That's a
So
lot
Sauce
of
is
chews.
basically set for explosives for now.
Yep.
Yep.
And Underwater Bottle is just a recovery heart. To domain he goes. It's interesting. Sauce went, I think, on a bit of a more aggressive route here. I find Tom's choice to extend his child phase into Valley, Lake, and Domain, and probably then downriver. Totally valid, totally reasonable, and I mean, Sauce will probably will have to do some of those areas at least
Yep.
as well. But Sauce is being rewarded for going adult early and basically just hoping that Kakariko pays out.
Yeah.
Which it has so far, to be fair. I have no idea if Sauce knows the King Dodongo bomb shoe strats. Not exceptionally familiar with him as a runner. It's been a little while since I last saw him play. We'll find out.
And we're gonna learn.
Purple, I think Tom does buy a bean and goes to plant it in Lake. With that path hint, I think I would probably go do so.
Though
You
Tom
don't know
doesn't know
where.
it. The only one who has that path hint is oh no wait, Tom does. Sorry,
No,
I was
Tom-
No,
confused.
Tom has the path hint. And he
Tom
doesn't know
has
where his hookshot is. But I think because he doesn't know his hookshot's just sitting in CAC, it's probably better to take the safe.
Oh,
Oh,
flame
didn't get the
storage didn't
flame
work for Tom
storage.
here.
Oh,
that's
that feels bad.
That's a minute lost.
Yep, that's unfortunate.
Sometimes the game just doesn't want to cooperate with you.
Nope.
Well, to be fair, we are basically abusing bugs here.
Yep, because Ocarina of Time, a very well-coded video game. And just a bloopy there.
There we go. That worked though.
Very clean.
So, Saw's choosing to do this area, to do the Composer's Grave as an adult, which obviously gets him the song but won't get him the out of logic check for the chest here in Composer's Grave, and gets Song of Storms. That opens up the world.
That's nice. And yeah, Domain had Squat.
Yep.
Time to go River.
Or a bloopy
Yep,
in the top part
indeed.
piece.
What was the domain hint? I totally missed it. 30 is still the ice arrows.
The domain
We're
hit was the repeat for Darunia's dance.
Yep.
Cute.
And we are missing our 50 hint, I believe.
We are missing our 50 hint.
But we do have our 40 and our 30.
So do you just, at that point, decide, well, if I don't find a 50 hint, that's fine. I won't collect any skulls beyond 20.
That's a bit of a gamble, but
And here Saws is in a bit of an awkward position, considering that he's now in Lake without ever having set Scarecrow as a child, so he won't be able to confirm Scarecrow and get that set up.
yeah, it's unfortunate. Looks like maybe clearing out a little bit of field.
Seems like it. Why not?
You have 20 chews, you might as well.
Utilize them.
Gonna get some extra hints as well. Yeah, with
Oh my
that
gosh.
long shot.
Long
Okay.
shot.
Well, that's
sure.
bomb locked.
Very.
What?
Or hammer locked.
What is this seed?
It's not a
Alright.
4-minute long shot, but that is a sub half hour for long shot, which is kind of funny. Lake is still Path to King Dongo, and 30 Skulls is still the Ice Arrows. Yep. Totally missed which
Alright.
grotto that is for Tom. I think that was the river one.
Yeah, it was River Grotto, yeah.
I was keeping track of things.
Okay. Plateau hint, and that thus concludes our hints. What? Sunken Silver Rupees, I think?
Toilet's
Yeah.
dead, yep.
That looked like a toilet hint.
Toilet is a heart piece, to be specific, so don't need that today.
I'm sorry, Dastar. No toilet
40 is
today.
still dead. That's the remote grotto hint. Child's one, the seed is in the Poe Hut, actually. Or Guardhouse's child, same thing.
Yeah.
And looks like Tom is doing exactly as you suggested, headed to Lake and wants to plant that bean. Bit unfortunate considering he will find a hook shot and probably a long shot pretty soon as well. But oh well. From his point of view, definitely the right choice.
Oh yeah, no. With the info he has, you absolutely do not leave Child without planting that bean. Because he doesn't know where his hookshot is. For all he knows, his hookshot is the path in Lake. Adult spawn is vanilla. Remember to update that.
Yep. But now is Tom going? Oh, check those
OGC
He
temples.
is
Fair
dead.
And
There's a
big
big
chest.
Nice to
chest.
have.
Oh,
Nice
well,
paperweight game.
Yep.
great.
Big old paperweight. Did Tom not get the skull? Oh wait, no, we haven't seen the skull mask him yet.
Boop. And Jabu's
Jabu.
path to Morpha.
Morpha.
Great! Stone
That'll be your
Deku's
Iron
path.
Boots.
Likely irons, possibly tunic.
It could be our first bomb bag if that's a Kokiri sword in League.
I think the path to the King Dodongo has to lead to the bomb bag, though. Does it
Wait,
not?
Stone Deku is path? Where did you hear about Deku?
Sorry, Jabu. Sorry, I'm scatterbraining things. Never mind.
Alright.
Pin quit, apparently. Yeah, Stone Jabu is apparently required. Yay! Now the question is it boomerang locked?
And
That's
also,
what we should
where in the heck is Rudo's letter? Because that's now possibly required.
Least-
And
Yep.
Skull Mask is dead.
Alright, good hint to have. Still missing our big Oron hint. Still, no, we're missing 50 skulls, we're missing 2 paths, and we're missing a couple sometimes hints.
Yeah, but in general, a hint layout is coming together. So from what we can read into the hints so far, I would say Jabu could be path to Morpha for Iron Boots. If the runners find another scale, I'm pretty sure they will try and not care about that Jabu path.
They would certainly like to, that's for sure.
Yep.
Din's path to Morpha would be, something.
That would be ugly.
Yeah, well, Randobot's done some ugly things.
Yep.
Can confirm.
And Sauce
Yes.
Boss struggling with the glitchless jump here a little bit, and he's got it.
There he goes.
Tom about to get his magic and hook shot, most likely.
And Vanilla.
And Vanilla
Minuet.
Minuet.
Okay, good thing we started with Sorry Song, I guess, so no need to worry about that logic.
And it looks like Sauce is headed into Forest Temple. Just for skulls, or in the hopes of finding the rest of his kit inside?
I mean, it's not a bad dip right now. See what you can get here.
Yep. It's... Oh.
Speaking of,
Just speaking of,
Oh, wow.
giving us our first bottle. Okay,
so if this were in Season 6, I would be making a Rush Ice joke now.
Yep. For anyone new to S6 who may not have been up to date with the rules, Mweep Skip or King Zora Skip is banned this season. Is strictly prohibited. You are not allowed to do it.
if you do, that will result in a disqualification, and we don't like to do that.
Yep.
Correct.
At all.
We really hate disqualifications and other sanctions. They just suck.
And Tom getting his choose, and I'm getting a call. I'm going to mute for a second and take this. I'm sorry.
No worries. Your serenade for Tom. Here's a heart piece for Sauce. And I will say, I really like that purple mirror shield color for Sauce.
That is that is a really neat color after a bit of a drab start into randomized tunic colors.
Just a bit. I actually very very pale. I think that I can't even tell is it's silvery, but I think there's like a purplish tint to that mirror for Tom, which I like as well. It's a nice contrast to his tunic color.
Yep.
Yeah, Mirror Shield's considerably more interesting than their Kokiri tunics and button colors, which are kind of boring.
Hmm. So Sauce is already done with his forest dip. Obviously,
He
no
doesn't
no
have
chance. No chance
go
to go
ahead.
any deeper without finding either a key in the first two checks or having a bow or Song of Time. So,
But it's a pretty quick dip. Saves some time for later, potentially. Not too bad an idea.
right now they're going to be following each other's footsteps for a bit, I assume.
Pretty much gonna see some child cleanup for Sauce, and then Tom is, of course, doing adult cack and graveyards, which we've already seen.
Need either strength or hovers to get to courtyard. Oh, you're right. Not just a key, but also either strength or hovers. You're correct.
Woods Path to Volvagia. What have we seen there? Lens?
So far, lens. Yeah, we have magic, so that's certainly got potential.
Did I miss anything interesting?
We just saw a Lost Woods Path to Volvagia hit, which is looking a whole lot like a lens right about now.
Alrighty. Well,
I think we've seen most of the checks in Lost Woods. I think the only other thing really is going to be that Woods target if I ever find the slingshot.
Have we seen the bomb lock ones?
Oh, good point. I'm not sure we've seen the grottos yet.
Did Tom check his composer's grave yet? Nope. Going there right now. Alright. Well, I have a feeling that Tom is going to...
Oh?
Oh no. Oh!
That was close. That was really close.
Yeah. I have a feeling Tom's gonna get his song here and then possibly play Serenade and go and clear out Lake a little bit.
It makes
Follow that
sense with the
path
paths
up.
he has. Yeah.
Path and the songs he has at his disposal. Serenade makes it very easy just to get there. And if he does, then he'll likely get his long shot as well, which will be very convenient. And it looks like Sauce Boss is heading into Well, possibly?
Yep, you can full clear it. He has explosives, he has Zelda's Lullaby, let's go.
Yep.
It's not
There's
exactly
a lot of checks
logic.
here.
What is logic?
Logic is a suggestion. Logic is what you need to keep in mind to understand where the randomizer has placed the items. It doesn't mean you need to follow it.
Petition to put choose in logic for S7?
By then, I think the bomb chew bag will be done and released to main. So no longer choose in logic is a setting that. What in the world is that? I didn't pay attention to the Scarecrow song for the first time.
Yeah, me and Star.
We noticed
it earlier.
I think, if memory serves, it's been a little bit since I last saw Tom play, but I think that's just typical for him to do some rather interesting Scarecrow songs, as there's a key for Sauce.
Yeah. So Ginger, to be clear, the setting choose in logic would just go away. And you would instead just have a bomb shoe bag and bomb bags, and oh my gosh, well is loaded.
There's two big chests and a bow.
Well,
all right.
We are strength from our forest kit.
Yep.
Will the other big chest just be a strength, and we can rush forest?
Real possibility of it.
Songs are hard, but sometimes getting the Ocarina out is equally difficult.
It is indeed. This fish taking a second to bite for Tom.
I think child fishing was about as trolly. That minigame does not seem to like you for that one.
Wow, that's a real lunker.
Hmm.
Any lunkers in chat? Oh!
Nice bomb back.
Well, here we go.
That's
There's your
half.
logic. Okay.
Well, there's everything's in logic again.
Didn't take too long. For once, Randobot did not give us a ridiculously illogic bomb back. Nor an exceedingly hard to find one. No, we've had some really nasty bomb backs this season.
Oh yeah. And
Double defense. Alright. I'll take that, I guess. Not
I think
required,
we've
but nice to
seen
have.
I think we've seen 2 keys, so we have to head to Dead Hand regardless.
Now we've seen 3 keys. Sauce has one, and there is a there's one in the center and one in the underwater chest leading to the coffin.
Okay. Cool.
Yep, and wait, you don't have to do GTG and Ice for a logical bomb bag on Big Oron? Nope, not in this seed. Though we did have
Not
that
today.
just
Oh, Inko.
we did have that yesterday. That was just that was gross. Yeah, yesterday there was a on the season 6 top 64 brackets match. There was a seed with the only available bomb bag on Big Goron. There were chews available, but you needed that bomb bag anyway because bomb shoe bowling was hard required for Stone Job.
Yep.
Nice.
There's the long shot for Tom. Kind of saw that coming.
Yeah, just a bit. Yeah, and there was the Big Oron hint was super late too because the hint was explosive locked in DC, which they didn't get because the bomb bag was on Big Oron. Strikes that are available to give you that hint technically, but who the heck is going there in that seed? Not them, apparently.
Who goes to DC when you only have strength? You can do it, but never feels good.
Yeah, that just didn't end up being appealing to them that seed, and then of course. It was not the most of the fun of times. At least it was in the S6 match where it commentated a while back, where someone was hard required to go find the seed's one and only bomb bag off Lax with behind a Kakiri sword in some really silly place. Because they used all their chews. They used all of the chews they found way too early. And between hints, their opponent and hints, they were not finding the other chew bags. They weren't finding the other bomb bags, and they weren't finding any wallets ever either. Thanks to a couple of lovely patents that told us both Zora Tunic and Goron Tunic were path that seed.
No.
Well, there goes Sauce's shield.
Oh
Oops.
no, that's always bittersweet.
Yeah, there's one of the copies of Lossos Devolve. No, Benji, the seed with the hard required bomb bag off Lax was the Doc Keeps Rafa match.
We are looking really good on hints right now. We're only missing our 50 hint for our always. We're missing 2 sometimes hints, and we're only missing 1 path hint.
Yep. Looking at our path hints, the one we're missing is going to be the one for Phantom Canyon, assuming we have one.
Which will likely either be Hyrule Field or to Phantom Ganon or No, it can't be because both hook shots are in logic. It could
just be well.
It could be well, or it could be something for our strength.
Yep.
We'll find out.
No, yeah. Or if it turns out multiple bows and multiple strengths are available, then we might end up with a hint for something else.
That would be interesting.
I have long forgotten who the race was between, but I did see a triple path to Morpha seed earlier in this top 64 brackets.
Oh, gross.
Oh, I have seen that, yeah.
No KD path, no Phantom Ganon path, and we started with a medallion the next game.
Actually, honestly, that wouldn't even be bad, though, because basically your whole water kit is just hinted.
I remember we were just went, oh, wait a second, is that 3 Morphopaths? Game? Hello? What?
Hey, just bomb refill on top of Dodongo's Cavern. I mean, appropriate place for that. And Tom is into Dodongo's Cavern. Whoops, that wasn't the plan.
Shoes are hard.
Choose are difficult. But yeah, Tom can just outright beat this dungeon. No reason to postpone it. We're going there.
And then that'll
Also,
also get us. That'll get us a check.
Hyrule
And
Field
there's
to
a
Twin
big check.
Rover, and hold on a minute. Okay, we're not getting a Phantom Ganon hint.
Nice slingshot. We're not getting a PG hint now because that was our second Twin Robocop hint there in DMT Storms.
I mean, that Hyrule Field could still be a strength because there could be only 2 strengths in logic right now.
Yeah, sure.
What's left in field? I know we got a long shot out of it. I don't know if we've got any grottos left in there though.
I
Or it
mean,
could
if
be
it could just be for the long shot if we if Spirit's right hand is a key. So
Oh, true. Or
Also,
it could-
remember that AD is Requiem. We might
Yep.
not be able to get that super quickly. We may need to go hike across the wasteland.
Yep. It
certainly
could.
possible. There's Rudolph's
Oh, we
letter.
haven't done Tektite Grotto. Well, no, yeah, it's Tektite.
River in the
there
Water
is-
Temple is a small key. Good.
And we got,
Okay.
and we got our letter as well, so we have access to our path Jabby now.
Yeah, only one check in it without that boomerang as of yet, though. Wherever that's gone
Yeah.
off to, who knows?
But yeah, that that Hyrule Field hint could it be something for all dungeons completion to get Requiem? I'm not really sure how that
It can
type of-
be because it
can?
can be any item that is required to beat that is required to eventually beat Twin Road,
Okay.
whether directly or indirectly. And that because Requiem can be required. If it is, then items leading to Requiem can be on the path list.
And after getting that letter, we already have Rush Ices in chat.
Just a recovery heart off Hot Rodder here. Yeah, Requiem itself cannot be the hinted item because it is separately hinted, but items leading to Requiem can be hinted.
Speaking of Requiem,
Which makes
though,
me
chat, weigh in with your channel points. Will Requiem on OOT be required today? Yes or no?
Question for you, Tobias: is that logically required or hard required for yes?
I'm going hard required.
Hard required. We're gonna say hard required.
Hard
Good,
required.
good clarification. Thank you, Star.
Because there is an important distinction as we get for Roars off the Runia. Thanks. That's actually quite nice.
I'm not getting into spirit key logic.
I will only touch it once we get there. I don't feel like discussing it right now.
I don't understand it in the slightest, so don't count me into that conversation.
Gudrun asks in chat, if OOT wasn't directly hinted, could Hyrule Field be path for the song? Yes, indeed it could. That is actually the case in Scrub settings. Since
And
OOT
speaking
is
in live settings.
since OOT, yeah, in its speed gaming life settings, which have the same medallion and bridge requirements, where you have to get the 3 stones anyway for Ganon's Castle access, so OOT becomes a sometimes hint. And suddenly your Hyrule Field path can just be the OOT song. That happened in one of the Scrub Squalls. That was fun. If you weren't in it.
Yep. And that's just how hints work in general, is that anything that is directly hinted cannot be hinted, it cannot be pointed to by a path. But that only applies, so this also goes for sometimes hints. If we see, a sometimes hint that, I don't know, Boomerang Chest is strength upgrade, then that cannot be the path because it got separately hinted. But if we don't get it, then it's a possibility. Because it's a bit redundant to be told that, Boomerang Chest is strength upgraded. Or, Iron Boots, I guess, in this case. For example, Boomerang Chest is Iron Boots and Jabu's Path to Morpha. Great, thanks. That's redundant would be an example. Because I already know that. Would like something more useful than that, which is why overlapping hints are not allowed by and large.
And there is one dungeon down for Tom, and that also opens up the Light Arrow cutscene check.
One extra check to route in whenever he goes back to Temple of Time.
I do expect Tom to go up the mountain, though. I mean, he's already on the way, but he will make the loop around
Oh,
Goron
yeah,
City
probably,
and Death Mountain Crater. So
yep, get that song.
yep.
Get a check or 2 checks there right now. Peek a third. Get another
Bruno's
hint
letter
stone.
was in the Goron City maze. It is at least logically required to see, as we know Jabu's path to Morpha. We don't know if it's hard required yet, because who knows?
Sauce Boss clearing out domain. We do know, however, that it is empty. But is able to go and open up fountain. So that's always nice to do.
Yep, going to be able to gain a little efficiency, and Tom be able to run in this letter turn in with the domain trip, whereas Tom had to come here without.
And it also looks like he Sauce has a empty bottle equipped, so he might be dipping for that Rang chest.
I don't see a particular reason why not to. If you're here, if you know the pattern is in that boomerang chest, you can hopefully never come back, which would
Yep.
be nice.
Unless Requiem is hard required, which it will be.
Game does love to do that.
I have been on a losing streak on predictions lately, so I'm hoping
So what are you betting on, Kyrie?
that it is hard required. That is my prediction, and please. I want to snap this losing streak so I could have some peace. Some inner peace.
Shall see. Oh,
Uh-oh.
Tom not quite hitting that skull to the right, and as a consequence gets yeeted by the enemy knockback. But all's well.
Still dead. Yeah, Sauce is already down to 5 chews. We'll see. I hope he goes Valley. I hope he goes Lake here after and sets up Valley Lake perhaps after soon. Though I don't know if he will, but it would be nice for him to be able to go get his bums after adult fishing.
Yep.
As chew usage can really come back to bite.
Ooh, there's Nocturne.
Alright.
Nocturne in the crater, always nice to have.
Uh,
At least for transportation, though you kind of don't want it for Stone Shadow.
But we don't want it for Stone Shadow? Come on.
Yeah, no, I want to watch seeds where we actually have where the runners get to have fun too.
Yeah,
That's a
fair
hard
enough.
piece in the wall. Ooh,
We
this is
can't
gonna be
all be hot
close in terms of
nonsense
time.
after all.
At this level, though, an old dungeon seed doesn't affect our runners that much. Maybe
Still
a
adds
little
time.
bit. Oh yeah, for sure. And there's a big chest.
And
in,
Gerudo Valley bomb bag is hinted in
crater.
a bomb-locked location. That's neat. So
Alright,
Gerudo
there's
Valley
a
Hammer
hint.
Rocks is our last sometimes hint.
Yep.
So that's our last sometimes hint, I believe.
As I said.
Still missing that 50 hint.
Still missing our 50, and the last woods is still Path to Wolf. Possibly for that lens, possibly for one of the Bombable Grottos, because we haven't seen those yet. Who knows?
Or Target in the Woods as well.
Tom
So
never
note
looked
that
at the
because
volcano.
Hamrocks is intended to have a bomb bag, that means that the axe and our adult fishing one is Path. That means that that must be bomb locked. Might be useful for thinking about hammer placements later. Right now, not much point.
Alright, Tom never looked at that volcano, and it is difficult to see from this angle, especially with VC making the colors so dark. In fact,
Yep.
I think I might add a little brightness to his stream. Give me a sec.
I can't tell what that was either, I'll be honest.
Yep. DC making those peaks difficult.
EMP Fairy just giving us some nuts. It's the Requiem, that's not a helpful hit game.
Unfortunately, it's helpful in reminding the runners that it could be hard required.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
Gamma increased.
And it looks like we're going to be heading into Kakiri Forest again as an adult this time.
Okay.
Artificial brightness. Oh, there's a big
More.
chest.
More big chests. It's Path to
Cat.
Twin Rova. Is this just gonna be? Nope. It's
No, wait,
right.
we saw this
Sauce
earlier.
already showed this to us. Yeah.
Yeah, just the paperweight. Do not need that.
And yes, you just got some artificial brightness on Tom's side because honestly, just because he has to deal with that darkness thanks to his console of choice, we don't have to.
Yep.
Javel's at the Morpha again.
Okay, so yeah, speaking of the Lossless Bomb Grottos, we saw at least that one because we had that hint earlier. I don't remember what the Scrub Grotto had.
Oh, come on, Tom. Just jump over him. And there's a big chest in Jabu.
Oh, this was Plito Skips. There's your iron boots, as foretold.
That'll do it.
I mean,
That'll do it.
We have
Dipping.
3 paths that are very straightforward. Lake to King Dodongo for Bombay, Kokiri Forest to Twin Rova for Mirror Shield, and Jabu to Morpha for Iron Boots. Lost Woods to Volvagia and Hyrule Field to Twin Rova are less clear, so for now.
So, since there's no path to Phantom Ganon, that means there has to be 2 available or 2 available strengths that are in the same sphere. And then
don't have to be same sphere, just don't lock each other.
Don't lock each other, and then 2 non-bow locked bows.
Yep. We've already seen 1 bow in the well. There's various options for the other. Strengths, who knows?
Yep. And straight into water, maybe?
I think you at least go do the other lake checks first.
Yeah. Which will be nice. Get his bomb bag.
Just as Sauce, Tom having a bit of trouble with that Lich just jump up onto the maze.
Yep. That jump can be pretty annoying at times.
Yes, it can. And today the game decides to be very annoying.
Yep.
These are all top 128 runners. All of them know how to do this glitchless jump and can do it in their sleep, but sometimes the game just chooses not to cooperate.
Yeah, exactly. I spent about 40 minutes trying to learn it last night.
I think I'm saying he doesn't know this yet, okay.
And getting that minuet, that'll be nice.
Alright, bomb bag incoming for Sauce.
And there go Sauce's Bombchu woes. That issue is now resolved.
Yep.
And those Bombchus carried him to when he found a bomb bag, so that is all they needed to do. Oh, Tom, please don't fall off that tree.
Yeah, Sauce did not find a hint for Lake, he doesn't need it anymore.
Yep.
I think it's just
And
routing this in with Water Temple, basically, and that works well enough.
we still have not seen our 50 hint, which is a little concerning.
Yep, it's fine until it isn't, and then you're in
Yeah.
what mode.
Both our runners being pretty proactive on acquiring skulls as they navigate their overworld and dungeons, though. So
Like, in a situation like this, you don't want... Like, sure, it takes a little time to pick up skills, but I would at least get the ones on the way, which they're doing, because if it's
exactly,
required and you don't get it, you really don't want to backtrack for the ones that were in your face 20 minutes ago.
exactly.
Because then it's like, great. Thanks. Like, you're not gonna go out of your way for skulls, but you're not gonna... Well, you'll at least get the ones that are right in your face and take like 2 seconds to pick up, because everyone's gotten bitten by late skulls hits before.
Yeah, and I mean, given that we are still missing
Nice
that...
Zora Tunic on Lax. Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
okay, sure. Given that we are still missing that 50 skulls hint, and also have no clue about 10 or 20 skulls, you don't just leave that lying.
Yep, no. At least get 20 and just look for that 50.
And it looks like Tom is now doing the same thing Sauce did, heading into Jabu, I guess. Or
Might as well going to go.
Nope.
Or not.
Maybe?
Maybe.
Nah, he has Serenade. He would play Serenade if he wanted to go to Jabu.
He could just be doing an unorthodox play.
He might do, well, if he wants to route in Lost
He's
Woods
doing Woods
cleanup,
target
because
here.
yeah, Woods target and the rest of Lost Woods cleanup, because he knows that is a path as well.
Yep, probably Lost Woods. Then maybe check the Frogs one as well on the way.
Would be a
So-
good idea.
Here's the first bit of weirdness this seed really has produced. Sub 1 hour water temple. So we have the
It
kit.
is a rarity.
Yeah,
Full
so
clearable as well.
yeah, we have the kit. The problem here is Water Temple is one of those dungeons that is really, really go-modable. Like, if you find the boss key, you can just go. You can just immediately finish this dungeon and be done with it. As a runner, if you have the option, you want to do it as late as possible. Because
Also,
you don't want to leave behind checks in here if you're still
Yep.
looking for a bunch of items.
and I just want to say, I really like that Furor's play there. I have never thought about doing that, but I love that.
Oh, it's a very neat little time save, because every second counts. We have, in fact, had a very literal tie during groups. Levels of
Yep.
every second count.
Literally
I heard-
2 seconds difference, which counts as a tie for the purposes of
I think after a
basically
retime, I
fuzziness.
determined it was between half a second to a second device.
yeah.
Wow.
I heard about that. That is pretty insane.
Ooh, big
There's
It's
chest.
a little
big-
silly.
Speaking of leaving items behind, Sauce is not leaving this one behind.
No, he is not. Just has to get the iframes. There we go. And nice
Wallet.
wallet game.
Wallet?
Thanks.
I mean, what does that give us at this point? Not much. The
Hey,
potential to buy a
warranty.
Goron tunic for convenience, basically.
Yeah. To note as well, I think we've seen all checks in Lost Woods now with that Woods target. I think that lends his path. What? Why?
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
It's either Lens Game or Wasteland Crossing, and if it's Wasteland Crossing, I have concerns.
Low.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Greg. The green rupee of eternal glory is in the Goron pot.
Pick it up, Tom. Pick it up.
Nah, he's not gonna do it. As mentioned, every second matters. It's not worth it.
But do
Yeah.
mark that off on your bingo squares if you're playing. And if you don't, exclamation point bingo in chat.
Alright, that is key number 1 here on the map chest. Water Temple has key logic to it. It's very simple, though. There are there are three checks that are 5 key locked. Everything else is available with whatever items are required to physically get there. The 3 5 key lock checks are the Darkling chest, the River chest, and Boss Key chest. Everything else just requires being able to physically get there. And there are 6 keys, so Darkling River and Boss Key chest must have minimum 1 item, and then either small key, boss key. 6 small key could be a boss key or just multiple items, depending on where you are. Here's key number 2 on Cracked Wall.
And
yeah, water key
yep.
logic is simple compared to, say, spirit key logic, which is a convoluted mess. So water temple key logic's not that bad.
It's not
And
as
Tom is
it's not
indeed
as
now headed into
simple
trouble.
as yep. Water key logic's not as simple as, let's say, forest key logic, though.
I mean, forest key logic is
Forest
simple.
key logic
Yes.
has its moments.
You get a key, you go further into the dungeon.
It's
Well,
not quite that simple, Kyrie, given that, hovers can be required.
Yeah, hovers or strength plus a key gives you access to the courtyard, even if you don't have a bow or Song of Time. The strength gives you out of logic access to the courtyard. The hovers give you logical access to the courtyard.
Yeah. Yep, no, you're right. And it looks like we got our BK in water. So.
Yep, and Sauce is continuing. Does not want to leave water behind. At least wants to do the boss key check here as well.
I think it makes sense.
I cannot blame him.
Do a nice little full clear.
Fun fact, actually, is that this technically also requires either bomb bag or hover boots because of the back rooms that you are technically supposed to go through to get to here, because the Cytop strat is not in default logic.
We don't talk about that, though.
I can never get that set up. I don't know why. I probably should spend an hour in GZ practicing it. But honestly, I just eyeballed this jump. As Sauce just did. And often I get the same results as Sauce did.
But yes, technically bomb bag or hovers are logically required here. Usually isn't a problem, though, but it has come up once or twice in Season 6 because Season 6 has given some really silly bomb bag placements.
The important bit about checking
no.
this chest here is, and Sauce is just giving up and saying, F this, boss key check is not getting checked today.
Yeah.
Just hoping it doesn't come back to bite him. The important thing about this check is saving before you ever open the first keylock door, because you need 2 keys to get to this chest, and you don't want to waste those 2 keys if that chest is nothing. But that is also why, as Star said, this chest is technically 5 key locked, because you can, in theory, waste those keys, and the randomizer is very conservative about that.
Yep. Logic has to make sure that no matter how you use your keys, as long as you do so in a glitchless fashion, you cannot get yourself permanently locked out.
Yeah.
Now, if you do glitchless logic, you can't guarantee it, but, that's on you.
And Sauce didn't get the quick Morpha pull, but did get the quick 1 cycle.
Very nice.
That's interesting. Discussion in chat. Shy saying the randomizer always assumes you will use keys as dumbly as possible, and Purple countering with no, the randomizer assumes you will use the keys as intelligently as possible while trying to break the game. Honestly, I think Purple might have a point here.
It depends on glitch logic, no logic, and just regular logic.
Morpha has key 3 that is available without keys because boss key is on torches, which isn't logic because we have a bow for it. Again, most of Water Temple's chests that are just, can you physically get there? Yes. great is in logic, besides the key lock ones.
And here's some more divergence. Tom seems to be continuing inside Jabu, whereas Sauce immediately bailed after finding those iron boots, because that's the path fulfilled, and do you really want to be in Stone Jabu if you don't have to?
Also, it doesn't have a boomerang to continue. Keep in mind,
Yeah,
so
he's
just
gonna-
gonna set Furores here,
Ooh,
and that's a heart container on Shoot the Sun.
smart play. I didn't even... Another Furores placement I would have never thought about.
This one's a more important one because it takes a while to get back here otherwise.
Yeah.
Well, at least Rudo waits for you in the main room of the dungeon, and
Yep.
not in the basement again. Hyrule Field to Twin Rover, we knew that one already.
Thanks, game.
And it
Just
is
missing
Dante's
that
standard
50
time.
hint.
There's another slingshot. Did we see
Sphere
target in
Zero
the woods?
accessible. We have, yes.
Okay.
Slingshot was dead, yeah. They did not need it.
Alright. Probably. And now
Which
it
just
looks
begs the
like...
question of why is that lens path for Volvagia, and what specifically does it
Yeah.
lock?
And also
I-
Tom following in Sauce Boss's footsteps and going into well now.
I am still very suspicious of that lens minigame.
Same here.
That-
I'm
I
also
mean-
looking at our song list because we do have some songs outstanding, but it is unlikely that the path is for the Colossus song, given it's one of Bolero, which I think is useless. Sun Song and Song of Time.
Technically,
None of which you
Bolero-
really want to be path.
Technically, Bolero isn't useless until we find hover boots.
It's
because
true. We're not 100% sure what's on that volcano.
Yeah, I haven't seen what Tom saw there.
No idea.
We
So
shall
get a
see.
bloopy off 10 skulls. That is not helpful to anything.
Yeah, we're still missing, what, 5 songs? 2 of them are hinted, and then...
The other 3 are not. It is Bolero, Suns, and Song of Time between Prelude, Ice Cavern, and Colossus.
Yeah. Picking up some skulls, probably... Did Tom already check 10?
Yep, it was a bloopy.
Ah.
So where are these runners headed next? For Sauce, quite
Well, I do
obviously.
DMC and then route to Forest Temple, I think. Maybe he doesn't have a strength upgrade. They kind
Alright.
of are in a bit of an awkward spot with dungeon progression, because DC might be his next play. Actually, I forgot he hadn't finished that yet, but he's probably gonna head there soonish to go clear that. His medallion,
so-
he hasn't finished it yet. Might as well.
I
Yeah,
don't
so
think
Tom
there's
is likely.
anything in DC, though, was there?
There wasn't, which is so I'll have to figure. But I'm not entirely sure where he'll go next. But he will, I think, go DC after DMC.
Most likely.
No particular reason not to, from his perspective. Tom is just doing some child cleanup here in the well. Too much to be said there.
Yeah, he'll get his bow, and I think that was all that was really in there was just bow.
Yeah, I think so. Don't really have anything else noted down for the well. Double defense, I guess, was in here, which is nice to have, but does nothing in terms of progression.
Ah, yes. That's the other big chest. I was trying to remember. I knew it was, like, not a required item, but... We're not hammer locked yet in fire.
Yeah, not a bad idea to take a quick dip in here, see if there's anything useful, and if your hammer locked out quickly.
We do have
Because
furrows.
usually the game does require you to have hammer to get much of anywhere in fire, but once in a while it
Yeah.
makes something required in here, and then oops.
Vanilla hammer, anyone?
Technically
You.
possible, just extremely rare.
Yeah. Not something anyone wants to see.
Not at all.
Well, likely that lens leads to hammer.
So how does the placement algorithm work again? First placed I know is the boss keys, and then major items, and then small keys.
I believe small keys take precedence over all keys take precedence over items in non-key sanity.
Oh, okay.
Which
Oh,
is one of the
that.
reasons why, which is a major reason why key logic cannot take into consideration item placements. The items literally haven't been placed yet. It can't.
Fair. Okay.
And that's even though key sanity shuffles all the keys together with the regular items, it still applies because you're not going to rewrite the algorithm just for that.
And that is where our stick upgrade was. I was wondering where Sauce got that.
And small chest here, so we are hammerlock at a fighter.
Nice.
I mean,
Not too surprised,
probably
pretty typical.
Sauce
I
isn't
for the best.
too unhappy about that.
That is.
No, you don't have to worry about, do I continue, do I stay, do I leave, should I? Or is just gonna finish up this last chest here and then bail out of here. Does a quick Ferrora, so going to set it in here, which makes sense since he doesn't have Bolero to get back quickly. Bolero is AWOL, so might as well.
Yep. And there's the bow for Tom.
And pretty for Sauce.
Don't lose your shield, Tom. Alright. Tom not losing his shield as Sauce unfortunately did.
And Sauce choosing to go back child here. Interesting, whatever he's off to next.
Where could this treasure chest minigame?
That actually would make sense. Treasure chest minigame. Don't know. I think he did with Target in the Woods yet. Get some idea of why the Lost Woods is path, because I do believe he has that hint. Yeah.
This does look like a treasure chest minigame.
Get your guesses in chat, folks.
Get
We're
your
seeing which at
guesses
first.
in.
But it does look like it is time to combine 5 L's and R's
Yeah.
in whatever
Nah.
order you think is right.
Left, right, right, left, right. You heard it here first. Oh, we're seeing it. We're seeing it two by both?
Yep.
Sauce
Richard
is
just giving
in
us some
daytime
money.
first. And here we go. We're
I'm
starting
already
with
out.
right, so
I'm
immediately all out. Fake Raider is the last one in the list for. It's 2 rights already. 3 rights now. Fake Raider still in. Ginger Sunny still in. Twitch chat still in. That is 4 rights.
Oh wow. Is it straight alright?
One of them's gonna win. It's all right.
It is alright.
That might be the only thing all right with this seed.
Alright, alright, alright.
Team Right wins today. For nothing.
You will get another chance to guess in just a few moments.
Yeah.
Yep.
Congratulations, Fake Raider, I guess, for winning a For winning the guesses there. You earn a lifetime supply of Ocarina of Time Randomizer seats, which you can redeem at OcarinaofTimeRandomizer.com. Terms and conditions may apply. We are not responsible for any emotional or physical hurt you may suffer while playing the randomizer.
Maybe not checking it right away from Sauce Boss?
He doesn't have time of day for it right now.
Oh,
Don't
no
have Sun
Sun
Song.
Song. Doesn't have Sun Song, right. I thought we did.
Nope. But Child Save quits the market, so you can just win, just so you can just come back later when it's nighttime. And that little spiel about terms and conditions is a bit of a copy paste from the old meme with Ale to DPR's guessing game for the Guns Castle Bosky.
So, this is a little concerning. How's the lens path?
Crossing the wasteland! The better
Oh,
question is, why
shoot,
do we need to
yeah.
cross the wasteland?
Well, Spirit is a medallion dungeon, and also Spirit could just have, or Spirit or Colossus could just have our hammer, which is then path to Volvagia. We will see.
Could be, I mean. The other issue, too, is that, because we know it's unlikely to be the song. It's either Bolero, probably not helpful, Sun Song, probably not helpful, and Song of Time. Also probably not helpful, especially given that both the toilet and river chest were hinted to be useless.
Yeah.
So Song of Time would only be recorded for right side GTG, Sun Song for Sun Song Grave, and Bolero if the volcano is recorded in Lock's Hoverboot somehow.
But that also confirms, by the way, the hookshot as path to Twin Rova in Hyrule Field.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because Epona is on Burning Kek, and you need Spirit beaten to get that song. So.
Oh boy.
Hey.
Also, 15 minutes late. Totally missed it, but happy late 1 hour, everybody.
Very late 1 hour, yep.
Very. It's such an interesting seed. It's easy to forget. But in this case, I'd like to thank our runners for putting on a great show. It has been fun to watch them. Also, thank you to our trackers, or our runners, by the way, our TomPouce and Sauce Boss. Also, thank you to our trackers today, who are Ginger and Benji and Shay. And then also, thank you to my fellow commentators, Tobias and Star. Tobias is pulling double duty and also restreaming, so double shout outs to him. And yeah,
Finally,
we have
also, thank you to Kyrie for joining us on comms today.
Yep. And thanks also to Ginger, who, don't forget, is double duty as monitor tonight as well. Like today, right?
Yeah, I was just about to ask if we have a race monitor.
And yes, we do. How in the world did that backtick end up in there? Okay.
But yeah, thank you to the whole Restream team on making this possible.
Yep.
Okay, Sauce is now on, I think that's his 10th skull. Meanwhile, Tom is now hiking over to the Gerudo area. Has a long shot, he has a bow, he has 0 strengths. Well, that excludes him from 4 checks in Gerudo Training Grounds, which I am pretty sure he will.
Have we full
look through?
Have we full cleared Hyrule Field?
Yes, we have. It is confirmed to be that long shot.
So this could be long shot to get the GTG or something along those lines, you know.
And also hints towards our collective wasteland crossing that's being indicated by our lens path, which is also confirmed.
Gross.
They're crossing that wasteland sooner or later, apparently.
Yep. even if
And
it's against
I
our
really
will.
strongly suspect it's hover boots that might be locking for fire, especially because Shadow is a stone and locks all dungeons, because Lens can only be path for crossing the wasteland if it locks Requiem in some fashion or another. And, well, we're missing a few things for all dungeons, to say the least.
For sure.
Yep.
Zombie Digging giving us another slingshot. Great. Thanks.
Tom also has all of water.
Yep.
That is available now. And there's a big chest in Fortress.
Gonna long shot right on over there.
Not actually long shot locked though.
Nope.
And there's...
And there's our other wallet. Okay, game.
Yep.
Sure. And this is going to be Lens game now for Sauce.
Alright, get your guesses in.
Men's game round 2.
Ooh, I like your guess, Tobias.
It's my standard guess. I always guess that. And I have a 1 in 32 chance of being right as everyone does.
I change my guess every time.
Alright, one key in the GTG lobby. Giving his allowance for Sauce.
Alright.
Second key on Stelphos.
Let's see.
Left. So far,
And
so good.
Yeah. Looks good for my guess. So, sorry, Archangel, that was kind of too late, but anyway.
I'm out.
Left. We're already looking good.
I'm out.
Left, right.
Oh, left,
Anybody
right.
still in? Yes, Ian Staley.
Oh, let's see.
Left, right, left. I think that's everybody out.
Yeah, let's see.
Oh no, Bex is still in. And that's Bex out. Sorry.
GG's, everybody. No 132 today.
No.
Oh, actually,
no third
we
1 in
did
32 today, is what you mean.
third. What? There was a
Yes, Twitch chat, and the other person I give this up to, Fake Raider.
Oh wow.
Both got it right the
Wow.
first time round.
Oh wow.
Wait, Shadow Sky did get it.
Oh what? Wait.
Left, right. All right.
Oh, congrats.
Hooray.
Congratulations on winning a lifetime supply of Ocarina of Time randomizer seeds.
You are officially allowed to say you are part of the prestigious 1 in 32 club. I know I am. You just need to guess it once in any race, and you are allowed to say you're part of that club.
Not a ton of cheese too so far in GTG, now that that's all that surprising, given that we don't have strength 2.
We don't have Song of Time either, unfortunately.
No, we'll have to save scum right side of the keys we do have.
Doesn't look like there's any big chests.
Small chests on right side, I think.
So yeah, we can also just peek this freestanding in, then just not touch right side at all if it's nothing.
Yeah, Ginger, hashtag not a cult.
Okay, and we are maybe 5 minutes away from also learning the answer to our question. maybe it's 10 minutes, but we'll soon learn the answer to our question of whether Requiem on OT will be required today.
It is true, because I'm sure that Tom is going to go hike across that wasteland in a bit.
We
He's
could
not even
also
gonna
do
need a lens for
toilet.
it.
Yeah, although there's one major problem with that, Tobias. We kind of don't have a strength at all.
Oh.
You
You
sort
make
of
an
need a
excellent
strength upgrade to
point.
confirm adult spirit.
You do make an excellent point here, one which I cannot refute.
We can still figure out our Colossus why our lenses path, but we will not be figuring out if it's all dungeons yet, because we kind of can't.
Link is a weak boy so far. Can't even tear up the grass, but can absolutely
Nope.
pull that statue that probably weighs a few tons in Darunia's room, because that makes sense.
Yep, totally.
Looks like the right side is all dead.
Seems like it.
Small key and nothing in the maze at all, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Yep.
Alright.
Tom is convincing himself that yes, indeed, the maze has nothing for him, and GTG, as far as he was able to do it, it was a total bust.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
just,
we've seen everything besides toilet, which was hinted. I just realized I totally forgot about that.
intended to be a key, to be specific, and then this silver block room, which I think has at least one item. I sort of lost track of keys at some point. I don't know how many there were in the maze.
Yeah, I don't even try and count GTG keys anymore. There was a
CSMC makes it really hard.
there was a group match a couple weeks ago, I think, where not only did both runners miscount keys, but everyone, like both commentators did, and it was a gong show.
It, yes, I may have been on commentary for that one.
Were you on commentary with me?
I think I was.
You might have been.
I think I remember that because Katrin DM'd me wondering about what the logic was on it, because you all miscounted the keys.
Yep, and it ended up something in toilet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
classic.
was hilarious. I just remember being like absolutely like taken away by the fact that not only did the commentators, but most of the viewers also miscounted, and also the runners. Like, what are the
I mean, we
odds?
basically all convinced each other, at least on Restream, that we had counted right, and we very much were wrong. Anyway, Tom is now
Anyway.
demonstrating, putting on a clinic on how to get across the wasteland without ever taking out the lens, which,
Yep.
once you learn the trick, is surprisingly simple.
See, I can't just freehand it like this. I have to do a setup with back walking and side hopping and shield turning. I can't just do it like this.
I need that for reverse, but I can do basically this forward.
Yeah, I use a setup for both reverse and forward. And it works about 90% of the time for me.
Well, 60% of the time it works every time for me. Alright, Tom is also keeping in mind or learning. Okay, big chest at top, Gerudo Fortress, I think.
Saw that earlier, that's the wallet.
Oh, that's the wallet, I see. Alright, it isn't Colossus Ferry.
No.
This seed is being weird. Why are we taking out Ferroris? Oh, because we don't know if we have Requiem. Yeah, set it in spirit. And never put it away.
Yeah, you don't have Requiem, you hope you don't need to get Requiem. And there's no fast way back, so absolutely set Ferroris here.
Yet another Ferroris placement I would have just forgotten about.
Yeah, but you're here, so you definitely should do that.
Yep.
I'm not sure why Tom chose to activate the Armos, though.
Bomb refill?
Oh,
Bolero?
All right.
Um,
I'll be back in 2 seconds. I just have to go and
all
get some
right,
more
see you in a
water.
bit. And
That
what
Bolero's a
is
bit
there?
concerning.
Oh, that's Kokiri's sword.
Really? Is that a Kokiri Sword of the Arch? Seriously?
I
For
think
chest
that was
skills
Kokiri's
key?
sword on the arch. Game? What the?
That seems familiar. Also, no, that doesn't make sense. Deku's a stone.
Um,
What is that? Because it can't be the Kokiri Sword. That's legitimately not possible. Given that Deku's a stone and Requiem's on AD.
Oh yeah, okay, that can't be the Kokiri sword. Then I completely didn't see it. Let me open up Tom's VOD and investigate.
And chat says it's a stick on Volcano. Thank you.
Okay, stick on volcano.
Didn't have to take your word for it because I suck at identifying freestandings and I entirely missed the classes one time.
Okay, let's see.
All right.
Welcome back, Harry. We're trying to figure out what that is on the Colossus Arch. First thought was a curious word, but that makes no sense.
I'm looking at Tom's VOD and it doesn't become any clearer. It's like 3 pixels, so no.
We might just need to get multiple opinions.
I think that's a quiver.
We'll get a better look at it from Sauce Boss's side probably since he's on emulator.
Yeah.
Oh right,
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's a quiver.
Ice. We have all of ice we can do. I totally forgot about that. Cool.
Yes, we do.
Cool. And we have plenty of bottles to our disposal, so why not?
I mean, we're also running kind of dry on things to do. Our paths are more or less resolved, and they aren't being helpful today.
No, they really aren't.
Which I am still unsure whether or why lens was required for crossing here. Have we seen anything on Sauce's side about that archway? Because I still couldn't see it.
I couldn't tell it from his end. I've got his personal stream up to see if that helps.
Have we
That
gone a
is
50
stupidly
hint
hard to
yet?
spot.
We have still not seen a 50 hint. That is
No, we haven't.
That's a little scary.
So paths fulfilled. No more progression dungeons in Logic. You basically just go by density, right? And I mean, grabbing songs is probably not a bad idea in general.
Yeah, I think ice is the next most dense area. There's a strength.
That's a strength. Speaking of strength. So, if you're Tom, do you grab that strength and immediately peace out? Or do you do Ice Cavern regardless?
You do ice, you're here. It's another song. It's 2, 3, 4 checks? Like, I don't see why you wouldn't do it. It takes a long time to, like, hike back here.
Yeah, you might as well do that.
You don't want to just go in and place your furores, because then you lose your furores in spirit.
Emo Soda in chat saying 100% leave to go to forest.
I mean, the other thing to consider is that the song here is of questionable utility, given it's a 50-50 between Song of Time and Sun Song. Song of Time is 100% dead, I think, at this point. Yeah, because Right Side GTG was nothing, and the Toilet is hinted dead.
Unless River has something such as
Hinted
light.
also dead. Can't be that.
River's hinted?
Yes.
Where have I been this race?
I was wondering that.
Oh, wow. Alright, well, yeah, Song of Time not required then. Oh, Tom. You need to actually touch the silver rupee.
That would be of help, yes.
And Sauce following in Tom's footsteps and heading towards ice.
Yeah, might as well. Gonna get his strength 1 here. Now, I do know
Yep.
because there are 2 there was no Phantom Cannon, there must be 2 different strengths available, so I wonder where strength 2 is. Yeah, and Sauce really hasn't done DC, apparently.
Yeah, but Tom hasn't done water.
Yeah,
Tom
it's a
is
kind of
enjoying the company of the ice keys. I have no problem with Ice Cavern, but can we please delete ice keys?
Yeah. I'm for that, Tobias. Alright, 2 more checks coming up here. One's dead. Both are dead, it looked like. Gonna see some nice glitchless jumps by Tom here.
It's like it because he doesn't have any bombs in on his C buttons.
Yep, that's what I was just noticing as well. So far, so good. Ice Keys shenanigans.
Ice traps got replaced with more junk items, Ginger Sonny. Benji. That ice traps was just collectively decided, but that, you know what? Nah.
Okay, I'm trying to look in the VOD to see what that items on the arch, and boy, it's stupidly hard to see.
Yeah, and Sauce doesn't have a VOD for this race, so we're left with what Tom has seen, and my assumption is it's a quiver. And if it's a quiver, then I'm really confused, because Lens is certainly in logic for crossing Wasteland, but there is nothing that it unlocks.
It could be for Adult Spirit still, like even if there's no keys, for example, there still could be items in Adult Spirit. Or keys and items, who knows?
Yeah, you're right. With just second strength in Forest Temple or something that makes Spirit theoretically completable, and then... yeah, that's totally plausible.
Doesn't have to be completable, just that something's accessible there.
And yeah, it looked like ice was completely empty.
Yeah, and
Except
just
for the song,
of
and
time.
it is Song of
Song
Time.
of Time.
Great.
Ice was a bust.
But will the blue fire be useful?
We'll see. We haven't seen a King's Oradan, so...
That does look like a quiver on Tom's side. The arch.
50 is magic!
50
okay!
is a magic meter! Yay!
Well, we don't need that. That's cool. 20 skulls it is.
Oh, boy.
Much
Sure.
game. It's a really good thing I got that other magic meter off Handle Andrew very early.
It is
Yeah.
about time. That is our last hint.
Hour 37 final hint is a little late, yeah. That's okay. Just a recovery card off KZ. Ice was useless today.
Maybe there's another strength in Forest.
It would have to be in the courtyards or otherwise not strength locked because we don't.
Alright.
Because
We
remember,
haven't
we don't have a PG path.
we haven't seen Courtyard yet, have we?
Nope. Saw us went in there without a strength booze or a Song of Time and has no exits.
Yeah, I would say that's a quiver on top of the archway from Sauce's video as well. Well, it's time for Forest Temple, and we're about to see for double Forest Temple, because why wouldn't they go? They have strength, they can complete a progression dungeon. You do that.
Yep. I'd be more surprised if Sauce didn't go there. Well, maybe DC first, because either way you go there.
Yep. Everyone's favorite dungeon.
Forest Temple. We'll see if there's anything of use in here, because let's see, what are we missing? We need two strength. We need a strength 2 from Spirit. We need a hammer for fire. And we need lights.
We are running out of things to do, honestly, though.
Well, we have an entire
Yeah.
Forest Temple, so I wouldn't say that too loudly.
Exactly. Well, that's what I meant. Like, there's likely something in here because we're just running out of areas. And speaking of Forest having items,
Let's
It's a
see.
big chest.
And that's strength 2.
I called
Okay.
it. I called it. I called it.
Strength, not strength locked.
Same here. Alright, that is your spirit access. And yeah, now you just do
And
forest.
go find out if we need to add dins, hovers, and the boomerangs, and the Kokiri sword to our Govo list.
Shall see.
And then after this, I believe, did both runners place furores down?
I
I
don't remember if Sauce did.
don't think Sauce did, which, yeah, might have been
Tom
an
did,
important
so.
oversight here, because that certainly would be a few minutes of time lost to get back to Spirit.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tom is going to finish Forest and just head straight back to Spirit with the furores.
He's going to be a bit annoyed that he will have to he probably place Minuet or Serenade and just uses one of those temples to get back.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
For a moment, I was not thinking about Minuet and thinking, oh yeah, he will be warping out to outside the Deku Tree and then walking back to a dungeon, but that's not the case.
Nope.
Yeah, no, we have Minuet, we have Boleros, which would get us to fire, we have Serenade, like, we have plenty of ways to get into a dungeon fast to play that furores.
Yep. Tom does still need to actually beat Water as well at some point eventually.
Yeah, that could also be a play, going Water first and then Spirit.
Is the other OT hint for Sauce?
Looks like Sauce Boss is going DC before he heads to Forest.
Guess why not here?
It's a quick dungeon. He'll be done in a few moments.
Yep. Can't wait for the rest of the scene to be Clarabelle, Light Airs, and Child Side Spirit. That would be funny and mean.
That would be
Oh.
very mean, and also I would love it.
That would be Requiem required.
Yeah.
Hence why
So the other
I
thing
don't
to
think
know. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
I don't think I can resolve that prediction until someone's in go mode.
I
Yeah.
think so, yeah, because we just don't know.
Whoops.
Flashbacks to, I think, the very first top 64 match of the season, where it didn't end up being hard AD for Requiem. In fact, there were no keys on Child Side, but there were 3 separate major items in the behind Requiem. I think it was a wallet, the last bomb egg, and a slingshot or something equally silly.
Lovely.
And both orders did AD anyway because of the way the scene was going. And it's like, oh, okay, oh, big chest, big chest. Game, why? Because that AD was a massive bait.
Yeah, it looks like we are potentially only hammer from glow mode, but depending on spirit keys and other shenanigans with all like just Requiem being required.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows, maybe we'll find another major item here in Forest. Alright. I'm about to see my nightmare of a room. Oh, I hate Stalfos.
They are quite a pain to fight.
Especially when you have to fight 3 in a row with quad damage. It's not fun. Alright. No problem here. So far, no other major items in Force, I believe.
I don't think so. Just a strength 2, but it is strength 2, so that's important to get.
I think we have all the keys, though, so every item from this point on is an item.
Hey, Milkweed, welcome in. This is going. We're starting to get too close to the point of finding out why, if this is eligible for Requiem or not. Still don't know why the lens is path for a hammer, because or path for Volvagia, because it has to do with Wasteland Crossing. But Colossus had junk, Bolero leading to junk, and a bow, not required in the slightest. We only just got strength 2 a couple minutes ago, so we haven't been able to check Adult Spirit for anything. But that does have to lock Requiem on AD somehow, so it's got to be something in Adult Spirit that locks AD. In Adult Spirit that locks AD, otherwise the lens can't be path if Requiem's just available.
Yep.
And I think I remember too about the opening match of Season 6 brackets. We had a hammer path because it locked both Requiem and the ability. No, I think it was Hover Boot. Yeah, there was a path. Yeah, I think it was a path hammer because it locked. There's a path hint and because I think it was Hovers actually because it locked both Hammer and Shadow Temple to get your lens your lens from the GTG Hammerlock chest, or to go beat Shadow Temple for AD Requiem on that particular seed. So
That
you had to
sounds
get your hover boots for Stone Shadow one way or the other. That was a fun one in that opening Season 6 match.
that sounds like
One of the reasons
a
why they
great
ended up doing
time.
AD that seed, even though it was not actually required.
Well,
Sounds
one
like
was
a great time.
it was a great time. I think I participated in that if I'm not completely mistaken, and
You might have been on the
yeah.
Francophone stream. I don't remember. I was on the Francophone side for that one.
Never seen this strat for the block push. Oh.
Well, it turns out, Gudrun, that the ceiling in that falling ceiling room doesn't have a collision from the top, so you can just backflip and walk across it.
Yeah, I believe you have to be kind of careful about doing that though, because the second it starts to go up, you void out. I think.
Yup. Second, you
So,
have any part of your body beneath it.
Yeah, that opening Season 6 match was a rare case of GTG hammer logic actually came into play, because they're like, why is this thing math? Where is it? Where is everything at? What happened to this use logic?
Yeah. So for those who might not know, the chest in GTG that's ringed by fire, by flames, in that room above the lava lake, is technically hammer locked. Like, the vanilla way to get there is a hammer.
yep.
You have to go hammer down one of the pillars in that room to go hit a switch to remove the ring of fire. No one ever does that anyway, but it is technically required.
Right, here's Tom with the... here's Sauce Boss with his third medallion. Tom is not far away either.
Similar reasoning is why Bogue is logically required for the Spirit Temple boss key chest, because there's an eye switch somewhere in that room required to despawn that ring of fire. Also, again, no one does it other than maybe RSL because iframes.
Alright, here's Sauce's turn to head into Forest Temple. The time of Double Forest has been minimized, and besides the Strength 2, I don't think there was anything important in Forest so far.
Not so far, no.
Not a thing, but don't count it out. There was a big chest there.
Oh dear.
Oh yeah, chat referring to a soft lock that was found a couple weeks ago during Season 6. You know those giant pots in the back of Shadow with the triple pot room in the way back?
Yeah,
Yes.
I do. I also
With a
know what
spatula in
softlock you
that
refer
room?
to.
Yes.
So at least on stable branch, on main dev, Roman's
Oh!
does.
That is
What?
two...
That was
That was Strength 3.
Okay, game, sure. Strength 1 lock, but anyhow.
okay. I mean, if lights are in Ganon's castle or outside of his castle, we're
OGC's
fine.
dead, but Light
Yeah, but no,
Child
that
will
was
be
a
fine.
strength locked strength. One of the two strengths could have definitely been passed to Twin Rover, but no, the game chose the hook shot.
Yep,
Yeah.
this game does that. But yeah, the clip there. So the triple pot room in the way back of Shadow Temple, on main branch main dev at least. You are frozen in place while you pick up schedule text boxes. You can move during the schedule text boxes on Roman's branch to note, which is why RSL hasn't found this bug yet. But on main branch, you get stuck in place. The pots are not stuck in place, so you can't get yourself clipped into one of them.
Yep. And Tobias, one of those strengths was strength block, two of them weren't, so I think that strength couldn't have been passed.
So yes, the strength 1 is fine. If I was referring to strength 2 for Spirit Temple, it could have.
Yeah, one of the
no,
two strengths.
because either of the first couple strengths could have been used to get the second. There's no
yeah,
hard
you're
strength
right.
2, actually.
There's no strength 2 locked strength. You're right.
Important distinction.
Very.
Arrows the bow, Colossus Arch is 1, and the well is the other, which is also the other thing. Where is the second available bow for the purpose of our lack of Phantom Ganon hint? Because the Colossus Arch one would be unusual to be available.
Somewhere. it's
We
just
do
somewhere.
have Song of Time to access the courtyards without a bow.
Some actual
Or
Dead
the
Man's
hovers we
Tennis
don't
on
have.
Tom's side.
The Strength 2 is available without a bow because we do have Song of Time for that. So it's possible for that Colossus Arch to also be available bowless because we have Long Shot for Shadow Temple. Go knock the statue down.
There's
It'd be a
choose
little
on
stick
Phantom
boots, but it's
Cannon.
possible given that Forest Temple really hasn't turned up much besides more shoes, I guess.
And looks like Tom needed to take a short break.
It seems like it.
Sometimes when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Yep. And he's moving again.
Picking up those chews.
Yeah, nothing in the back of Forest. Yeah, I'm wondering about if that Colossus Archbow is actually available, which would be kinda silly.
I mean,
I mean, of course, because we don't have a lot of Bowlock checks left in the game. Bowlock GTG checks were a collective bust. There was nothing particular in the water behind Bow. Adult shooting, I'm pretty sure, was useless too.
The bow could be in the
have
back.
we seen adult shooting yet?
I thought we did, but we might not have.
Anyway, we're gonna poke our nose into Spirit Temple for now and see if we are locked out of here. Or if there's just a hammer or something in here to be able to get into Fire Temple? We are certainly going to learn very soon whether or not... Tom, please. Whether or not his,
Oh no. Oh no.
This is AD. Oh, come on.
This is
great.
That is great timing.
Great
I'm
time.
gonna refresh him. Nope. That is certainly a disconnect on Tom's side.
And
offline. And you get to learn a little bit of German.
Alright.
Welp.
Ginger, mind taking a look into that?
I have the race room open. So far, no FBA call.
Yep. Yeah.
But Ginger, I'm sure is on standby.
Really great timing, though.
Yeah, very. Thanks, French internet. That was great.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it looks like we're seeing Sauce
I guess we'll
Bomb.
find out more whenever Top gets back by way of where he is or isn't.
Yeah.
That is basically true, yeah. But since we are close to the 2-hour mark anyway, now's as good a time as any to say thank you to everyone who's making this race stream possible. Thank you to our wonderful runners, TomPouce and Sauceboss for putting on a heck of a show. Thank you to our tracking team for keeping us in the loop about what is going on. Ginger, Sonny, Shy, and Benji. And Ginger is...
Yeah. Hit the refresh button, Tobias. I have Tom's stream open on the side. You need to hit it.
And here we go. Okay. Yep.
And so things. Apparently, we're not key locked out. Also, he's in go mode because Hammer and Light Arrows were side by side in the Adult Climb room.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
For
effing real?
No, really. He comes back online just in time for me to see Hammer and Light.
Well,
pseudo go mode depending on where Bosky is because he's evidently an Adult Spirit, but I don't know if he's got the Bosky yet.
Well,
yeah, so I'm not paying that prediction out yet, but the nose might have it.
Yep.
Anyway.
Things. That was a way to. I was like, what? Yeah, 2 keys on Child Climb too. Jeez.
That was a case of interrupted go mode. Or rather, interrupted stream at the worst possible timing. That was just...
Yeah.
Runner comes back, runners in go mode. That's wonderful.
It's happened before. It's like, where? Yeah, we're not key locked out by small keys, that's for sure. Whether or not we're locked out by the boss key, we're gonna have to finish this place first to find that out.
Yep, that is the big question. And in that case, if that is the case, where's our dims? Where's our
And our
hovers?
hovers.
And where's our rang?
Oh.
Yeah.
And where's our Kakiri sword?
If it's AD, we're missing a ton of stuff for it.
If it's
Yeah.
not, though, we'll be done in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, something like that.
We still need to do, depending on where the boss key is in fire and how efficiently Tom goes through water and finds his BK.
Alright, there's key 5.
So far, there's what?
So far, so good? Question mark.
There's what? Four more checks?
Does Tom have a fire source? No, he doesn't. He does not have a fire source for Sunblock Room.
Yeah.
No,
so
but he should, I think, know at shenanigans, as they like to call it.
Do you mean bow crab?
That, yes.
there's a big
And-
chest on the other side.
Not using the long shot to get there?
Surprise.
And
Oh.
that was probably a wait a minute moment.
Wait a minute, it may be 80 still.
Yeah,
Nope. Nice slingshot.
let's not ignore that for now.
You still might need that. The fake chest. Not that specific one, though. That slingshot's useless.
We are 2 checks away from being able to finish our prediction.
We will see.
Well, we're missing a few more. We've still got Clairlock checks. We've got Top of Spirit, 4 Armors, Boss Key chest.
BK check, we need map check, and we need, well, if we don't have a fire source, we have, or if we find a fire source, there's also Sunblock Room.
There's some fireless strats for both submap and sunblock. I think Tom knows.
Oh, right,
both.
for the backflip, you mean. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't
Didn't even cross my mind because, you know, I'm a scrub.
I remember a co-op season 1 race where one runner had severe stream issues, didn't see anything of his footage for the first hour, and the first thing I saw when he came back online was him doing a nice bomb back game and his hard bomb lock. First thing I saw when that runner came back online was him going to do those shenanigans. Like after the first thing I saw after like an hour of nothing was just, oh, well, great. Nice.
Let's really quickly finish the shoutouts to our... That is more big chests.
There's a lot of big chests here. And
all of them
there's
big.
Yes, game.
30-minute time save.
Yeah.
Not really, but it's nice to have a bit late for it. We just want that boss key, though, really, is what we want. Does not want to go looking for all dungeons items. It will take a while.
You need to keep in mind, there has to be a reason why that lens is required to cross here.
Oh.
It does have to lock all dungeons somehow.
It is certainly
Which
possible.
is honestly looking like one of the items for all dungeons is probably infighting, honestly.
Yep.
It's certainly possible that it is that the hammer could just be on Twin Rova. But
No, we saw it already.
Tom
That was Adlock
We have
Climb.
to have it.
Oh, right. Never mind.
Hammer and Lighters are side by side on Adlock Climb. First thing I saw when Tom's stream came back online was, oh, game? Hello?
Tom surely does not have a the boss key yet, so it is time to pull that Armos. And well,
Because by pulling the Armos, standing on it, and shooting through the torch from a specific angle with the height you gain from standing on the Armos, you can go light the torches down below for the map chest.
yep. And this is riveting
It also looks
content.
hilarious.
riveting
It
content
also looks
because
hilarious and makes me crack up every time.
we are about to witness a solid minute and a half of Armos pushing because Armos don't have fast block push.
Yep. Devs wanted to discourage doing strats like that.
That being said, though, I think there was some discussion in dev suggestions to actually add fast Armos push. I know because I was part of that discussion.
Please. It is so annoying when I have to use the Armos to get the skull in
DC?
DC, and it just takes forever.
Yeah, that's the other almost push we see. We ever really see. There's not really any other particularly useful ones I know of.
This is
Right.
indeed great content.
Wonderful stream value. Here we go to the top of the Armos. Let's go. Let's shoot those torches. Oh!
Oh no!
Well, fall down first, I guess. Okay.
Mhm.
That was not intentional. Need to shoot the torches before falling down. Strength 3 for Sauce.
It's one shot and two shot and
Oh no!
oh dear!
Oh no.
Time for
I'm
Bow Crab
concerned.
Part 2. So for context, you can also it didn't cross my mind earlier, but I now can explain the strat. You can also light the torches in Sunblock Room using your bow. It is finicky.
It's tricky. A lot more
You
tricky
need
than
to-
the Armos one.
Yeah, you need to collect all the silver rupees to light the gilded torch, and then backflip to shoot arrows through said torch to light all the other ones. It does help to pull a block over to make it a little easier to aim, but it's still finicky.
And
So, is it gonna be a hard old dungeons or not?
it's certainly worth to find that out and to even invest a few minutes in failed attempts on this strat.
Yeah.
Rather than do all
Because it
dungeons.
sure beats even just fighting a fire source, because who knows where those are.
Yeah. Nobody has a clue.
Now, this place is not fire locked, funnily enough. We have seen all 5 small keys. Just
Interesting. I
not
haven't
that
seen-
boss key.
I have not seen the strat to help with that, to use that block.
It helps a little bit with the aiming, I think, yeah. Phantom Cannon's trolling Sauce.
Oh, the rarely seen, whoop! Oh, that was clutch, getting that on time. And Tom is pause buffering this and can do this because he plays on Virtual Console.
It looks like he got it.
Yeah, looks like it. He does have the torch lit. He doesn't have that torch lit.
Oh
And
no!
Tom is out of arrows.
Oh no.
Oh no!
He is not too
Boy.
happy with himself about that one. Gonna have to leave and come back after he gets
Yeah,
some
he's-
arrows.
Dropping for Rory's Wind, probably warping to, or playing a song to near a shop where he can get some arrows, Bolero or something.
Yeah, thinking about options. And Nocturne for the cack shops, okay.
Oh, this is unfortunate.
Yeah, this one feels bad. Sauce is
Solid.
out of forest playing Bolero, interesting.
Oh,
See,
Sauce is doing a fire dip here.
yeah, he hasn't
Huh.
done this yet, so it makes. Oh, I thought he was near. The other one.
He would like to have kind of, okay.
Oh,
Are
did
you
he
sure
actually
you
set
want-
Frozen Spirit?
He's gonna take the gamble, 10 arrows.
Oh, wait,
he
no,
said
he's back
he said
here.
for Rory's. Oh,
Oh, he's mad. He realized he forgot to set for roar.
No! Oh no!
Oh, Sauce. I was like, I could have sworn Sauce was in fire earlier because I could have sworn his source was there. And he's
Yeah.
bad.
And
That's a really big ouch, actually. Oof.
yeah, because now he knows he needs to hike across the wasteland again. So
Yep.
Tom is now back in the room with 10 more arrows. He's hoping that that is enough. Come on. That looks to be the right frame. Nope.
Got it first try, the first, and then messes up the second try.
Not quite yet. Now! Yep, there we go. That's not lit, come on. You got this.
It's that second torch there. It's these two that are the hardest. The
Oh,
last one
no.
is easy.
Oh,
no.
He's out of it.
Come on,
My
Tom.
goodness.
Oh,
And that's why I was
Boy,
kind of worried about him only picking up 10 arrows and going straight back here.
maybe he save scummed those arrows though in the furrows.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
He did.
that's smart. That is a smart thing to do in this case.
Yeah.
Because if the BK is on here, Sauce Boss is gonna have a little bit more difficulty because he's on emulator.
One more. There we go.
I am also not 100% sure if Sauce knows the strat, I will be honest. Or how good he is at it, because this is not the simplest of strats, as we can see.
Already torches back out.
Yeah.
Oh my. This is, let's cheer on TomPouce here. You got this.
Let's go.
Let loose.
And there.
Alright, that's the first torch in. That's the second.
And
Come on! Yes!
Alright,
And there's the
there it
Bosky!
is! Yeah,
Alright,
know
that is
why-
go mode for TomPouce.
I don't know why I'm cheering. I lost the Gamba
Well,
again.
will Requiem on OoT be required today? The answer is no.
Not at all. Not even logically. We saw all 5 keys.
Yeah, that is a heck of a go mode.
It really was. What a spirit temple between the temporary stream outage made miss both lights and hammers side by side, and then the whole bow shenanigans.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. But that is good one here for TomPouce for sure at 2 hours and 10 minutes, and we'll be done in sub 2:30, I think, here.
Really depends a bit on fire key layout. If the boss key
That's
is
true.
all the way at the top, we might be sub 240. But either way,
Yeah. I mean, all the bosses will be nice and quick with BGS.
That is true. And yeah, poor Sauce having to re-hike across the wasteland, though I don't think that's gonna cost him
Nothing, so?
ultimately. He was
Really?
already some ways behind. This does feel
What?
bad.
I
I think that's on Tom's end.
think that is on Sauce's end. But Mocha
Actually, it's Sauce's
EMCA.
end.
I'm gonna
You
go-
might need to turn off the audio.
We have
Yep,
swapped
then-
audio.
Tom's audio is also really darn loud all of a sudden. Yeah.
Yep.
Here comes. Okay, that's fine. It doesn't have that from her audio, so it's just really loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. But yeah, what a seed, guys. Officially go mode.
Let us see. You know,
Yeah.
what do you think put Sauce behind? Because as far as this wasteland trip feels, it's not what cost him the race.
That's a really good question, actually. Did it cost him the race, though, is the question. So, I think, yes, the Wasteland trip cost him a few minutes.
But I think he's more than a few minutes behind, is the issue.
Yeah, he is. However, Tom also still needs to do Water Temple, and that looks he isn't too far. Isn't too far in the front.
It's just torches, no.
Yeah. Right. That's one other area where Sauce lost time is, as I alluded to earlier, he chose to do Water Temple early, and he didn't quit after the boss key. He did more checks.
And failed to jump the boss key chest a couple times, yeah.
Yeah. He had some execution issues this race, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's a large part of why he's behind, is just losing bits of time here and there.
And there's Twin Rova down.
So I know Sauce also had some issues on PG, for instance, as well.
Yeah.
Tom is still drowning out the comms. Well, I can fix that. Better now?
But yeah, Troll Rova is down.
Alright.
Do we go fire first or water? Water.
Yeah. Hope to get some more equipment for fire, like for example the hover boots. If you just run across them in Water Temple, all the better. And
So,
F Airy for Sauce.
At least he had the fairy. And we're about to witness the loaded, this loaded room.
For the first time. Because the internet gods chose to not show it to us the first time.
Yep, the internet woke up and chose violence.
When does it ever not? That's hammer and that's light arrows. That is ridiculous.
It is. I remember I was like, I was looking over at the other tab where Tom's stream open and on the side, and I was like, oh, he's back. Game, what?
Yep, good summary.
And this is about to be a long spirit for Sauce Boss, I think.
Yeah, man. Yeah, especially I don't know how much Sauce has practiced, or knows even that Fireless strat. I know, I knew Tom would know it because Tom's played a bunch of RSL, and that's a really important strat to know there, especially. But I honestly have no idea if how familiar Sauce is with that strat. Especially the sunblock one is hard to do. The Armos one a little less so.
So
the Armos I can do. The sunblock one is something that is definitely beyond my abilities, and it is really hard to do unbuffered, which you have to do as an emulator player.
Yeah. Where was the beacon water again?
Torches.
Okay, so yeah, he'll get it soon.
It's pretty early.
Congrats on the bingo, Kinra.
Commentator pun, what was the pun?
I mean, that's basically a second free square, but I am sure I made a pun or two.
I
think there was a comment about an all-star race she played at the start.
Yes.
So there's also just that.
That's true.
Speaking of stars, hi, no star.
Yeah. I know usually I make a few puns every seed.
Yep. In Koei would guess Dins or hovers or boomerang for that matter, and fire for the lens path, yeah. Well, that's say you're not the one to come, so I made the pun for us.
Shell blades. I hate shell blades.
Oh, they're so annoying. Like, yeah, because they just do stuff like that.
Exactly.
Their hitbox is so finicky, like...
Here's another thing that Tom will need to do now is to jump over to the... Oh no, he has Faroy's Wind here, set here, right? Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Never mind. No need to jumping
He's
over to
fine.
Pierre at all. Because doing that without
I'm
hover
sorry,
boots is another
Dustar,
one of
I'm
those
just-
things.
Laughing at him.
Yeah, I saw that.
We have actually done comps together, Duster and I, in person even at Speed Gaming Live. That was fun.
That is more of a beat for TomPouce. That is medallion number 5. Leaving
Yep.
just the fire medallion.
Yep.
Sauce on the other side, needs to be... is in a bit of an awkward spot with that first strat. I'm also not sure how many arrows he has.
We're gonna find out. Oh. Never mind, he's bailing.
Okay, he does not want to do the bow strats, which is understandable. Now, there is a very good chance he will find a fire source in there's a decent chance he'll find a fire source in Fire Temple. We do know that lens has a log requiem somehow because of the path hints, and one of those items that could be locking is that Dins. So there's a real chance Dins is sitting someplace in Fire Temple.
Oh, interesting question in chat. So, why is a trick that TomPouce did in Spirit allowed if it is so hard to do? The general guideline for tricks or for things that are allowed in OTR standard rule set are they mustn't involve any clips, first of all, or any glitches of that.
No damage
that
boosts, none of that type, no C-Mox. It is based off of the glitchless, I think a restricted glitchless rule set.
Yeah. So we are kind of this kind of orients itself along the restricted glitchless rule set of the OOT vanilla speedrun, and also well, it has a few specific additions because I think even crouch step is not allowed in that rule set because it is technically
I'm
a
not
glitch.
sure. I do know that ground jumps and the one clip in Shadow Temple that is allowed are permitted because they bypass substantially harder glitchless jumps. But for the most part.
Interesting.
Flame Storage is definitely a glitch. It's allowed because the community voted for it at some point a few years ago. That's genuinely the only explanation for it.
Flame storage is so much easier than I thought it was when I was starting out.
Getting the flame stored is not the hard part. It's using the stored flame that's trick here.
And there's Din's
And-
fire.
Alright.
Hammer locked
well,
in. So the game wants you to get your hammer, to get a fire source, to get that boss key to beat Twin Rova. Doesn't ever need
And
to...
or to go beat Shadow Temple for the Requiem to get the boss key. Either works, yeah.
Did Sauce
Yeah.
put Roars down in Spirit?
I
don't think he did.
know he did.
Oh!
It won't matter.
I don't think. I think
It
he's a
won't-
bit
it
far
won't-
behind anyway, but it
It
feels
won't
bad.
matter. It feels bad having done it a second time.
Yeah.
Hey, Sauce jumped over to the push block a little bit to the right, too far to the right, so he did aggro the keys, but oh well. Nothing a quick spin attack can take care of.
Is that
There's
what
some-
aggro's the keys? Is if you push the block too far to the right?
No, if you get too close to them.
Too close, yeah. Cause like I just find it so finicky. Sometimes they'll like attack me, sometimes they won't. Okay, I'm really curious where this BK is in fire.
Though, I mean, in terms of which tricks are allowed and which tricks aren't, that really is something that the community is always hotly debating. Because, for example, pot push is a trick that is banned in the standard rule set, which means you can't use a pot to jump across the gap in the bridge in Death Mountain Crater. It doesn't involve any glitches per se, but it is very hard to do on an emulator. You
Also a
basically need to
major
be frame
sequence
perfect,
break.
and it is a major sequence break. On the other hand, this trick, as the boat trick that Tom did to get his boss key, is also very hard to do on emulator because you need to be frame perfect, but it is allowed. It's I'm not gonna say it's inconsistent, but it is certainly a matter of discussion, and it is frequently discussed in the community.
Yep, comes up every year of the return of every new season of the main tournament, for sure. And oftentimes I'm discussing rules for the side tournaments, which can exercise their own choices.
Yep.
Side tournaments such as the Silver, such as co-op, multi-world, or the League, we do have our own discretion to decide on rule sets and you know, just qualifications and the like. Though we do generally follow the guidelines of the race mods, we are free to make alterations as we so choose. Usually within reason, because if we go too far off the track, usually we will earn a bunch of race diagrams.
Yeah. Alright. Still no
Now
boss
it's
key.
Now it's just a hunt for the boss key by both Sauce and Tom. Obviously, Sauce will need to return to Spirit Temple to finish the game. Tom, meanwhile, is just waiting to see that gilded chest.
Yeah,
Yep.
which is looking like it's pretty deep here today.
Because of course
Hammer
it is.
trap?
We both have some peers at least, so no worries about that.
And they have their long shot, so I'm sure they can do pixel shot, right?
They can.
I know I can't, but there's a reason I'm not in this tournament.
Correct.
Same
Same with
here.
me. Like I think I finished qualifiers around rank 200. That's quite a bit away from being able to make either tournament.
Yeah, I don't even remember
yeah.
what I placed. I don't even want to think about it.
I have never participated in a formal OTR race.
I did about 6 of the quals, I think. I think the highest points I got was 600 in one of the races.
Can't do that room without the backflip strat, says Wadey Words. Interesting, I didn't know that.
I think it might be possible it's just even more finicky. I honestly am not sure where the challenge in the cup name comes from offhand.
Because I think second best tournament doesn't quite have the same ring to it.
Yeah.
Forgive me the snark, but it's a bit better branding, I think. Where does the challenge in the cup come from? This is a season 6 tournament that is for the people placed 65th to 128th in the main qualifiers.
What season did Challenge Cup become a thing? Has it always been a thing, or?
It's been
I'm not sure.
It was a informal tournament during season 3, and it became formally partnered with the main tournament in season 4.
Okay, cool. Cool little history lesson.
And more small chests. Back down we go.
Yep.
Someone must have timed this because I see a lot of runners just use the door nowadays instead of jumping back down to the round room. Oh well, for Tom especially because he hasn't done the shortcut yet.
Yep. So we're going deeper into fire.
Yep, we are. Of course, the boss key has to be all the way at the top as Tom just fell down.
Hooray!
Oh no,
Oof.
that sucks.
That does suck.
You got the key at least. Won't lose too much time. Uh-oh. I shall make it. He made it. Alright, here's the question. How do we have to go to Hammer Chest?
Well, looking more and more likely by the minute here. This key layout's kind of horrendous.
Yep.
And, well, that's key, so it's small key, so it's not that.
Either higher score on or hammer chest at this point. Either or.
Alright.
It is high score on. At least we have Song of Time now.
At least we have Song of Time.
Ah, yeah. Tom has plenty of bombs to use for the boss fight as well.
Yep, no need to worry about that. So looking ahead at the brackets, this will be unfortunately the end of the road for Sauce. The winner of, and then if I look with how this is currently going, TomPouce here will be facing off against the winner of Philmont versus the New Year.
Yep, that should be a good race.
Yep.
No, it's a little late, but how did each of... I'm not going to bring it up in the interviews if they opt for it, but how did each of these players place in their group stages?
Looking that up right now. Sauce was second place in Group P. He took won, I think, that three-way tiebreaker against Taraz and Decoy Troy to move on in second behind Tober and first from that group.
Oh, okay.
TomPouce went 3-0 in Group C against Emo Soda, Manu, and 38.
Oh, wow.
I know we saw Emo in the chat there earlier, looking for the potential for a rematch.
Wants to redeem himself.
Yeah, themselves, but yes. Emo lost. Emo went 2-0 in that group, and their only loss was in fact to Tom. Emo,
yeah.
Assuming they win enough matches to get there, these Emo and Sauce or Tom would face off in what is that, quarterfinals.
Yeah. So far, we have had... Is this the second bracket stage match or third?
We had Red and Aurelius, Sea Bruins, Cloud Ike, and then this, I think, is the third, yeah.
This is the third, you're correct.
Cool. So far, some pretty good matches. I was there for the Sea Brew Cloud Ike one, and it was a good race as well.
that is TomPouce done with Volvagia. Just
Yep.
as Sauceboss has also finished his Volvagia fight. Unfortunately, Sauce will need to get back to Spirit Temple. I don't think he placed Ferrari's Wind there. We all don't think he did. Which, well,
Ugh, that'll be unfortunate if he didn't.
That's for sure.
Then we're gonna be able to see our Ganon climb pretty quick here. Ginger says he did.
well, we're about to find out. So,
Okay, chat says he did. Thank you. Unfortunately, it is too little, too late. Yes, I think execution, little things. I'm trying to remember what exactly put Sasa finishing Adult Spirit behind.
I think comes down a lot of execution things. I think Tom just played a more well executed seed, like in
Yeah,
terms of
FW issues,
everything.
Phantom Ganon being a troll.
Yeah, and then
I think Sasa's later to explode to that bomb bag on Adult Fishing too.
yep, uh, clearing out more water than he needed to. Yeah, there's a few things.
I am going to go to the bathroom real quick before we wrap up here.
Alrighty. Yeah, just little things adding up, it looked like. But it was a good race, and I enjoyed it.
few bit of trouble with execution, but that happened to both runners, and that is also very normal in a speedrun that goes between 2 and 3, sometimes 4 hours.
Yeah.
And that is the Dinolfo's done. The Zalfos even.
Lazalfos, not Dinalfos.
Well, one is the small child version, and one is the adult version with more HP,
One is-
more attack power.
One is the more slightly annoying.
True.
Oh,
That right
also-
there is a Zalfos, I think.
Yeah.
Alright, in the back.
The early bomb back hint might have also helped Tom, but in the end, I think the bomb back they both got, the first one was on Lake?
It was the Adult Fishing Way of the Hero
yeah.
path one, yeah.
I think we only saw 2 of the bomb bags, didn't we?
No, I think we saw 3. Hammer Rocks is intended to be the 3rd.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Right.
And Sauce unintentionally taking a jump off the platform here. Or intentionally. Oh! No, not unintentionally. He still needs his boss key.
Yep,
Yep.
He did have Ferrari's Wind, obviously.
thankfully.
Yeah.
He's not ultimately too far behind. We'll probably be on Twin Rova, I think. Yeah, we'll be on Twin Rova when Tom finishes.
Yeah.
Or thereabouts, yeah.
So, maybe 10-ish minutes behind. Not too bad, ultimately, given that this is about a 2-hour 40 seed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a nice seed. Not necessarily a jet, but it was around average.
Fairly
take
average
some-
for this season.
It really did take some logic reading ability, though, for our runners.
Oh,
and,
Definitely.
things like the lens in the end being required only to make it across the wasteland. Alright, that is boss key for Sauce.
Yep.
It is nice to not get 80 or 50 skulls for once, that is true, Ginger. It'll end up being a bit of a long one, just because you really did have to go hunting for some of these things. Yeah, we'll be done in time before the weekly. There will not be a restream for the any weekly today, but there is a race room open for it. There's too much going on this weekend on CSR for us to do any weekly restream.
Yeah.
Sauce does not fall off the platform there. I thought he might. Did make it on. Eva really wants a rematch there in the chat.
Well, they still need to win their races.
Oh, and that is a death for Sauce on the rear knuckle.
Nope.
That's unfortunate.
Oh, that feels
Well,
bad here.
Won't change the outcome of the race, but definitely feels bad.
Sure.
Did you make it to double bingo, Kinra? Anyway, a few more hits to Ganon's tail, and this one's in the books.
Oop. And get your GGs in
There
the
he
chat.
goes.
That's
For
finished
one
once
final
this.
roast of the pig. And TomPouce makes this a done deal with a time of 2:39.12.
GG's.
That is a GG.
And we move on to face the winner of Belmont versus the New Yay. Round 2.
Sauce. I don't know if he has seen yet in the race room that Tom has just finished. Doesn't look like it.
Doesn't seem like it, no. And yep.
And there it goes. Alright, nope. Still just fighting Twin Rover. Decides to complete the seed, I think.
And yep, Belmont and New Year will be playing each other tomorrow at 9 AM Eastern.
9 AM Eastern. That sure is a time.
Do not believe that one will be restreamed. I have to go find our schedule to know what is our next restream.
The next restream is tomorrow evening. And no, Belmont versus Nouillet is indeed not going to be restreamed, either in English or in French. Next restream is tomorrow evening. That'll be on Kaipi versus Fant. Kaipi versus Fant, 7 p.m. Central European time. And 6 p.m. UTC, 1 p.m. Eastern.
And 10 a.m. for all you Western folks.
Alright, cool. Looks like we're getting Tom in for an interview.
Yep. Seems like Sauce has seen the dot done, but he's not far out from dot dunning himself, so I think he'll just finish it out. Do you want to tow him in, or should I, Tobias?
Sure, let's drag him in here. Alright.
GG.
Alright. Salut Tom, GG.
Oh. Hold on. Wait.
I can do English or
rush.
French. Either works, depends on your preference. Hello?
1 second. I think Tom still needs to get his audio set up. That's fine.
Hey, hi guys.
Hi Tom,
Down,
GG's.
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 Oh my god. I'm so tilted right now.
Spirit Temple, huh?
Yeah, Spirit Temple. Yeah, the thing is, the seed was teasing you a lot with the hammer, like it wasn't in Losswood, then not it's TMG, then not behind the Gyarados Fortress. So like, okay, it's in spirits. It's a good thing we got the hint for the Rubro.
Yep.
So it was way easier for me to route this. I still feel like I didn't rotate this very well because we had 2 strengths in forest, and I didn't feel like double dip it. So, but yeah, the Bastion in Spirit was very tilting. Like, it's a very hard trick. I think it's something I maybe learned a while ago, very long time ago. So I didn't had a good memory how to perform it, but I had to do it anyway.
Yeah.
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 Sauce actually dipped Forest very early, but had no bows and no Song of Time, so couldn't get that strength in the courtyard.
Okay.
He ended up coming back later. He finished it, I think, a little bit after you did. Sauce ended up just getting Dins from Fire and then going back to finish Spirit.
Wait, Dins was in fire?
Yeah, basement loop.
Oh yeah. Skip this quest. Yes.
Yep.
So that's
Okay.
probably what the game wanted you to do logically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I really wanted to finish Spirit. Like,
No, it made sense. It just that strat is hard.
yeah, that's what really are. Like, it's not even the first touch because you just need to hit on the right frame in the right direction. It's not very hard, but the 2 and the 3rd one are like very stressful. Yeah, I was very nervous doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And what made you nervous there? What did you fear that Sauce was already almost done?
Maybe. I mean, the main thing I could see to beat me was dipping Forest before Ice, because of the 2 strength. Like, Ice was useless, he said. You didn't need to do anything here. And how about the trick? I would say I wasn't sure because the trick is on, of course. So it's either you try to do it, even if you lost a few minutes, or you had to clear the seed in order to find a Din's Fire. And in that case, yeah, you can do Ice, which I didn't think, so it was confusing, I think. But yeah, just the fact that 2 strength against Forest tells me that I wasn't in so good situation.
Oh, Sauce just died to the Iron Knuckles in Gaden's Tower.
Oh.
No.
Unfortunately, that's. Yeah, go ahead, Tobias.
I was just gonna say, Sauce is not having a good time with Iron Knuckles today.
No, they don't need to Burrow Knuckle as well, and that's, I think, one of the biggest thing that made the difference between you guys, Tom, is you guys were in a lot of the same places at the same time. Forest, Ice, Spirit. It just his execution is just a little bit worse. He had a bad time on Phantom Ganon. He died to the Burrow Knuckle as well.
Phantom
And
Ganon.
just small things added up.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Phantom Ganon trolled me a lot. He touched everything. What?
Yeah, sometimes Phantom Ganon just doesn't cooperate.
Yep, nope.
But I really did like that strength locked strength 3 we found in Forest Temple. That was fun.
That was funny.
That was awesome. And then also that Spirit, the lights and hammer being side by side there.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Didn't get to see it on your side, Tom, but
Oh yeah, your stream died as you entered Adult
Oh,
Spirit.
really? Oh.
Yeah, and then it came back online. I had your stream up on the side, and I saw, oh, he's an Adult Spirit. He has keys. Okay. Oh, is that come up?
Yeah,
Because that was
very-
pretty funny. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, okay.
And that's so
Thanks.
sudden. And that's so sudden, yeah. Yeah, there was a hammer and lighter in front of each other, yeah. You're like, okay, I find a hammer that you're in maybe go mode. So yeah. But yeah, it was spirit, so you still wasn't sure if you could finish it or not.
Mhm.
Like having an ID, if I had an ID, it would remind me a lot because I set up Pharaoh in Jabo. I feel like I could pretty much win by clearing everything by sheer execution. But yeah, just the fact that the 2 keys were in torch chests were. I didn't want to do any torch chest decision. I just didn't do it, but I had to do it anyway. It's random.
Yeah. That one made us worried because you guys had nothing for. You guys are missing a lot for AD. You needed dins, you needed hovers, you needed your curious sword, you needed that boomerang.
Yeah. Also, the key spirit in the key layout in spirit was like you just did the 5 keys in other section. Like you didn't need. I'm pretty sure that we didn't. What? I'm pretty sure.
Spirit was not child locked at all. No.
Yeah, absolutely. I found like 4 keys up to the main room, I think, and the 5th key was behind 4th key, so yeah.
Yeah. I think it was invisible chest. Yeah.
Yeah.
But is there anything you thought you could have done better with this seed? Is there anywhere where you
Maybe put more priority into forests and into progression. I would say.
Yeah.
That's just the main point that could make me more confident about winning.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But also, why I think it was okay. Just the early was a little strange. Like you had 2 hints for Lake Halia way to King the Dongo, which were respectively in valley and river. So no matter what way you take to the lake, you get the hint anyways. And I feel like I picked up the worst path to do everything because I had to go back to the river, get the bean. I don't know about this. And yeah, we found an hookshot in CAC, so the bean was useless.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Useless.
Big break here,
and
though.
then-
Let's everyone get your GGs in chat for Sauce Boss, who's about to finish in 2nd place. And,
Yep.
GG.
going to
Yeah.
Yep. GG's.
has chosen to finish out this seed with a time of 2 hours, 50 minutes, and 36 seconds. Just about 11 minutes difference.
Yep. But yeah, Tom, so looking at the bracket, is there a runner that you hope to see in the next round over the other? So it's either Belmont or Nuye. Is there one of those runners you'd rather see in the next round, or
I don't know a lot about these 2 players, so I don't know honestly. I never watched them. So no, I have no idea. I just try to focus on my own strength. I think it's the key for me to go as far as I can in Challenge Cup and just focus on myself.
yeah?
I know
That's-
Belmont and the New Year are both newer names. I think Belmont's from the UK. The New Year, I believe, was French. One of the also a new name I have not seen before this season, so it should be interesting to see how they do.
Yeah.
Why not?
But yeah, that is a good mindset going into it. Just focusing on yourself and your own skills, and not worrying about the other runner. That's definitely a good mindset to have.
Yeah. In 1v1 is very. It's not easy to have that mindset in 1v1. I feel like the most cases you have this mindset in when you know you have the upper hand considering routing or execution.
Yeah.
Because you know that if you do your own style, unless you just unlucky, you beat your opponent. So it's very easy to go into that mindset in that case. In the other case, it's very, very hard. Like you either you grind like you just grinding, but even grinding is hard. Or you have to make a plan, like just try crazy location sometime, but it's not easy to put off. So I just try to just move fast, roll fast, backward fast, cheat everyone the fast as you can. Yeah, it just start moving fast.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And GG's Sauce Boss. Congrats on the
GG.
finish.
Yeah, GG. GG,
GG.
Tom.
GG, Sauce Boss.
What are your thoughts on the seed sauce?
What the fuck, Lance? Lance
Ah,
leads to nothing.
Yeah, same.
well, it led to
Um,
your hammer.
yeah, somewhere around the end of the seed. But crossing the wasteland did nothing. Just minigame has nothing. Yeah, that was confusing.
Yeah.
It wasn't kind.
Also, no item for the AD, so the child part in the spirit was scary a little bit,
Yeah.
and yeah, I forgot to put my fire in spirit.
Oh, that felt
And
bad.
at this moment, I was like, oh, you know what? I just lost right there. But I keep playing because you never know.
Yep.
Yeah.
No. Exactly.
You
And
were a
I
little bit
choose
behind even then. But yeah, go ahead.
yeah, but I choose Ice Cavern over dipping back into forest. I think that's the 10-minute right there.
I think you both did ice though.
You both
Nice.
did ice at the same time.
Yeah.
Tom was a little bit ahead going in.
But GG, dude.
Yeah, thanks. GG.
Yep.
I guess yeah. So the fun thing too, I guess, is Tom lost several minutes to doing the bow strats and spirit to do those firelock checks without a fire source because you guys didn't know where
Damn.
dins or fire arrows were at the time.
Yeah, I thought about it, but I was like, man, it's too fucking long.
Yeah, that wasn't
Fair.
easy.
I have higher chance to get Din's fire or fire arrow in Fire Temple than losing like 10 minutes to push the blocks and push the armors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this time I make sure my
fire.
fire win was put inside the spirit before I left. I checked
Yeah.
twice. But GG, man. Hope you luck for the next round, bro.
Thanks. I'll do my best.
And thanks to both of you for putting on a heck of a show. Yeah, what else is there to say? Commiseration sauce. This is the end of the road for you in Challenge Cup. But hey,
Yeah.
you made it 2 brackets. You made it to among the best 32 players in this tournament.
Nice. That's one step ahead than that the season 4.
Yeah.
Season 4 I didn't go into brackets, so I'm proud
Always
of it.
improving.
Yeah.
Always improving. That's
Yeah.
good.
And Congratulations on the win today, Tom, and good luck for your next race. The winner of Belmont versus Denouillet will be your next opponent. That race is happening tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central European time. Unfortunately, we won't be able to restream that one. Yeah, what else is there to say? I think all that's left to say really is to thank everyone who made this restream possible once more. Thank you to our runners who put on a heck of a show, Sauceboss and TomPouce. Follow both of them on Twitch, please. Enrich your Twitch experience with these two awesome people. Thank you to our trackers keeping us informed about the race. Ginger, Sonny, Shy, and Benji. Ginger is also pulling double duty today as our race monitor. Thank you to my wonderful co-commentators, Star and Kyrie Strombom. And I think that's all from us